What's going on, Geeks and Gamers, Gaming with Geeks? It's Gaming with Geeks Monthly. We're back mainly because Mark has been harassing me so we could do another gaming podcast. He hasn't stopped tagging me in our group chat, so here we are. Basically, so Mark can talk about video games, talk about how Nintendo's the worst thing ever, and then we can meme him for that, and then he can get offended that he really doesn't hate Nintendo, doesn't understand our sarcasm. You know how it goes. And then we'll probably argue over Batman movies. I don't know what we're going to do here, but we're here, and we got RK Outpost here. Fresh off of probably another racist rant while he's driving around the beautiful city of Orlando. How are you?
Not today. I had, God, I was so freaking busy this morning. I had to actually go outside and do stuff. So I'm tired, but all I can think about is playing more Elden Ring. I got a late start on it because we've been so busy over the past month. And that's all I can think about is playing more Elden Ring. I'm going to try to do that tonight. Yeah, I'm ready.
Goddamn time. The game's been out for like 6 years, man.
Well, some of us actually make videos, Mike. So
no, I don't need to make videos. I'm actually live half the time, Ryan. I actually use my fucking Twitch channel. You know,
I was thinking, because I've never played a Dark Souls game, and so I've just been kind of really exploring because this game just offers so much exploration.
Yeah,
and I've been thinking about just starting over and just going live and letting everybody just show me the way and you know, ranking up and all of that. I don't, man. This game's, I'm all over the place on this game. I don't know where even I love it.
You got a lot of faith in the audience that they're not just going to yell at you the whole time that you suck.
Well, that's kind of what I hope too.
Mark, he's getting the true Dark Souls experience, exploration.
Yeah.
That's
what you got to do. But that paying to play more Elden Ring doesn't really go away though. I've got 163 hours in on PC and like 40 hours in on PS5, and I kind of don't want to do this podcast right now because I'd rather be over there.
I heard that.
But when I say we're going to do this once a month on the last Saturday of every month, I commit to that, which is why when Saturday came along, I was like, hey guys, we doing this or what?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know.
Also, I have a puppy. What of it?
He's a good man. Fresh off of seeing the first episode of the Halo series, Johnny 60, when he joined the call, I'm like, you okay, man? You seem a little down. He goes, just watched Halo, man.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes before I got the link, and yeah, I'm not in a great mood, but hopefully we can lift my spirits a bit. So we'll see how things go.
I see everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. Clemson dropping a 50. Says Lethal Legend. Lethal did have a legendary rant about Halo that we put on the main channel. It did very well. He still looked homeless as fuck, and I think that was a lot of the appeal. They were like, they let this homeless guy from Australia up on the stream and just rant about Halo. I think that added to it a little bit.
You can't tell if I'm crazy or I've just read a lot of Halo books.
Well, I really like. I'm thinking Lethal. Thinking I'm coming to Australia. I think I'm going to pull a Mr. Beast video where I'm just going to give you money. I'm like giving a homeless person like, you know, $5,000. I think we can get a lot of views out of it. And then you could just bitch about Halo the whole time.
Does Mr. Beast just give money to homeless people? They're just going to spend it on drugs. Why would he do that?
That's his follow-up video.
Yeah, that's the follow-up video.
Just Mr. Beast like smiling and thumbs up in front of a rehab center.
Imagine the video I could make. Jeremy gave me $5,000 and ruined my life. Fucking needle hanging out of my arm and shit.
Hello! How you doing, Lethal?
It's been a roller coaster. I was riding the Hive, hanging out with Sailor Jupiter. Then I saw the Halo show, and that burnt me right down. I sent Mike an abusive voice message that I am sorry, Mike, that I sent you an abusive voice message, but I had to yell at someone.
It is, man. I knew it was coming, so I asked him a question, and I get a voice message. I'm like, oh, fuck. And it's just him screaming at the top of his lungs at me about Halo and how bad it is. So,
and I actually don't own Elden Ring. I'm like one of the 5 people in the world that don't own Elden Ring. But I do have to say, you know, it's an actual gaming talk stream when it's all males, so we can actually talk about video games.
There you go.
Well, I mean, JoJo's female.
Oh, see ya.
Yeah, Mark derailing as usual. What a pack.
I've never lost.
Never lost.
Never.
So-
Undefeated.
Why did he add Disparu?
Yeah, why
I don't know.
Disparu?
I was confused about that when I saw my name.
Oh man. Well, speaking of Disparu, Dispa-fucking-Roo. How are you, Disparu? You've become quite the celebrity in the Friday Night Tights world now. You're making Lord of the Rings videos. Gary's referencing you, quartering RKL post, doing pretty well for yourself lately.
Oh yeah, that was insane. That especially as like I said, one of the reasons I started making videos in the first place was because Gary did one of his speeches during a Friday Night Tights about, you know, we need more voices, we need more people to speak up, and if any of us get banned, then we need people to replace us. That was one of the things that gave me the impetus to start in the first place. So to hear like Friday Night Tights talk about that is surreal to me, to be honest, in the first place. But yeah, as you said at the time, the thing for me that started it all was Wheel of Time, and now I like James Bond movies as well. Now they're coming for James Bond. You can't write. It's like they've got my diary and they're just going down list by list of things they actually like. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Amazon have just taken revenge on me at this point rather than anything else. But
well, I'm happy to see your success. So you're doing well. So go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm just happy that he, you know, finds all this stuff so that I can just steal whatever video he makes. So.
It's pretty much. You sound like Jay right now.
About Ryan, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, sound like Jay right now, Ryan. Which Jay's wondering if you're still mad at him.
I didn't watch your stream today. Did you talk about me? I don't know. Yeah, I'm so mad at you, Jay. All those memes, I'm still getting notifications on those. Yeah,
Come on, Ryan. He got Jeremy's permission.
Yeah, as if that matters. Yeah. I'm just glad Jeremy got memed too.
I got memed to hell.
He got Jeremy's permission to use Ryan's likeness.
F&T was brutal yesterday, dude. F&T was brutal yesterday with the memes. Holy crap. Like that was next level. There is a Ryan meme that I saw earlier today. If I can find it, I will certainly be showing it here because yes, here it is right here. I just found it. This might be the best one that I've seen so far. And there we go.
That's a good one.
That's really good.
It's like even blurry and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It kind of looks better than the actual Joker from the
It
I'm available. Cast me now.
Wow, you think they were gaslighting movie theaters for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker? Just wait until Ryan's the Joker. Goodness gracious. Nobody go see that movie. All the incels.
Yeah, because Joaquin's like, you know, he's a lefty. So I mean, hey, they were fine with the person. God, I think it'd be good press for them, honestly. So look, this guy who made a racist Batman reviews in the sequel.
Oh, Mark the Cyborg.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. I've pretty much been doing nothing but playing Elden Ring, and the most content I've done in the last week was being on EFAP talking about Elden Ring for 8 hours straight. So
Nice.
Really, Elden Ring's kind of taken over my life. X-Ray Girl and I are getting divorced. I'm taking both the puppies. I'm just going to play Elden Ring full time from here on out. Not going to make any more content. This is my last stream, by the way. Goodbye, everybody.
I did just want to point out that this is the face of a man who would say, "This is my last stream. Goodbye."
You know, everyone says like, "What's up with your face in that picture?" It was like, honestly, I didn't know my face was going to be in it. She said she was going to take a picture of her fingers. She's like, "Yeah, like I was like, honey, hold my hand." She's like, "I'll give you just the tip." I was like, "That's pretty funny." She's like, "I'll give a picture of it."
Where the fuck is her phone?
It's in her cleavage.
Okay, I was gonna say that makes sense. That's the only option there.
So it's a timed photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set a timer, put it in her cleavage, took the photo. I thought it was just pointing at our fingers. I didn't realize my face was in it. I didn't bother like smiling or anything. I'm like, okay, I'll get this over with.
Yeah, you look
it was like an hour ago, by the way.
I was gonna say you look like you've been playing Elden Ring nonstop for 72 hours.
The thing about Elden Ring is the developer said, "Oh yeah, you can complete this in 30 hours." I'm like, how? I know the speedrunners can do it, but nobody else.
No, 30. I don't know. I think once you understand where everything is and know how to, get as powerful as you need to get, know the boss patterns. I think a competent player could get through it in 30. But understand if
He's
you're doing
calling
a
you
run,
shit.
No.
Is that
No,
with, like,
well, no,
Power
because
grinding levels out though, because
not necessarily, because I mean you can SL1 soul level 1, like just do the whole thing without leveling up even once if you're really good. But the thing is, even if you don't power level and don't take any major shortcuts, you just know where a weapon that you're really competent with is, get it as early as you can, get the things that you need in order to upgrade that weapon as high as possible, only kill 2 demigods and then go right to the end game. Like you can do it. The only thing is, even if you were able to, it's kind of like, why? Because you're skipping so much of the good stuff that's in the game. So like if you say, yeah, no, I played Elden Ring. Yeah, I got through it in like 25 hours. You know, it was okay, but I don't know if I really got my money's worth. It's like, yeah, well, you killed like 12 of the 85 bosses in the game, though. Granted, there are a lot of them that are repeated, so it's not like you need to fight every single one of the bosses, but like you're skipping a lot of stuff. That's all I'm saying. If you do a speed run, and even like not a speed run like world record speed run, but like 30 hours, I would consider a really fast run for your average player, anyways.
So I'm gonna get to all your super chats before we get into our first topic, but let's introduce Epic Mike, Shug Mike himself. What's up, Shug Mike?
What's going on, y'all? Hey, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be in another stream with Ryan yelling racist things at me. It's a good time. I
talk far more about your background than I do about your skin color.
Well, it's kind of all the same because my background is dark. There we go.
You said it was blue before.
All related.
But it's like, look, it's almost like you have a blue navy square and the sides are black now.
They're literally, you can tell the texture that there's.
You have sound panels? Yeah, you have sound panels now, don't you? So
yeah, I've always had sound panels. You just never can see them because I don't have the shot wide enough. Gotcha. Yeah. Anyways, I have not. I literally have only ever touched Elden Ring when I'm playing it on Twitch, and it's making me really sad. So I went and found some other RPG that I haven't touched in years, and I've been playing that because I'm.
What you doing that mage build? I thought that was like the easy mode.
I thought it. I mean, you think it was an easy mode, except I never have leveled up my health at all. So everything can pretty much one shot me. Like I get hit, and it's one. I usually only have 1 HP left. Like after I get hit with anything. So
yeah, you got to pump some points into vigor there. I think honestly the easiest seems to be vigor dexterity. I would say, like, if you have tons of health and tons of dexterity to do lots of bleed damage fast, that's likely the easiest thing. And then summoning the spirit ashes, and there's a few weapons that are a little overpowered as well.
Well, if you watch Jay Hailstorm freaking melt bosses with his freaking ass beam that he uses, I mean, the guy played for like 2 days and then
he uses the comet
and everything. Yeah, fucking asshole, piece of shit,
ass beam.
But yeah. I got the comet, but I haven't got leveled up enough to use it yet, so we'll get there.
I think the way people melt things like that, though, is there's a physic that you can drink, like the Flask of Wondrous Physic, that gives you unlimited mana for a short amount of time. So that makes it so that you can just keep that comet beam going consistently and not just drain all your mana because you have unlimited for a bit.
Yeah.
Before we get started, yes, Jay, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that, buddy. Polly D, GTA Plus is beyond egregious respect. Let's see. And then what Harry Potter house would you all be in?
Slytherin.
I forget whose Twitter I saw yesterday, but there was someone that said, I'm just watching Harry Potter for the first time ever. Why does no one have an issue with the fact that there seems to be an entire house dedicated to people who are assholes? That's actually pretty funny.
There wasn't a wizard or witch that went bad that wasn't from Slytherin.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Ryan would be Hufflepuff from what I've been told, but that's just.
Now Jeremy's just full of shit.
So, no. But I guess I'm Gryffindor.
Is Ravenclaw the one that gets like really autistic about details and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, they're intelligent.
That's you.
There it is. Yeah.
Extra would probably be there too because she's an Asian. So.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking Gryffindor myself. So.
Cho Chang was Ravenclaw, wasn't she? Yeah, sounds about right.
Who would win in a fight, Ryan or Edward Norton? It would be Edward. It would be Edward Norton in American History X.
I was going to say,
before he you know, oh, did we lose Ryan? Oh, I lagged up real quick. Would it be Ed Norton before he saw the error of his ways? Because if it's racist Edward Norton in American History X, he'll beat Ryan's ass.
Yeah, you probably beat me up.
So pre-ranked Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I am totally down for to be cast in that as well. American History XL. Why not? Let's do it.
I would want to see Incredible Hulk Edward Norton against Taco Bell Ryan. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Just
about equal. They both have that extra
outrageous,
power.
you know? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker, I've got so much diarrhea in my body. And they just throw it down in the parking lot. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's the
Taco
one
Bell,
thing
who's got his order wrong, Ryan. That's the one specifically.
I will push back on that, though. Like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, it does nothing in my stomach at this point in time. I've had so much Taco Bell in my life, I'm immune to that.
It's a cumulative build. You don't know. It just one day hits you all at once. You just
This is not true.
You'll just shit for 3 days. You don't even know what happened. I don't know if I ate something.
It's just building up, and then you're just going to explode.
All that horse meat will get you eventually. Yeah.
I did see a member message from Big Raj. Thank you, Big Raj. And I did get your P.O. box, Big Raj. So thank you. Appreciate you and all of your support.
It was a glitter bomb.
Always. Can Man. Johnny looks like all of us after we watched Halo. That's and speaking of that, we got Sub G&G. How's it going? What shocks me is that Paramount can screw up Halo intentionally into another Star Trek retard but deliver on Sonic 2. WTF. Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the people behind it. Sonic 2 had a person who was willing to listen to the fans, and but generally speaking, they hire activists who hate the fans. That's essentially what it comes down to. I know Jade Shadow sent one. Let's talk about sexism in gaming. Oh, hi, Mike. And then of course we obviously will. And I know we had one more. There it is.
We got that $50 one, Jeremy. You got that one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Clemson PC. Eric K. What else does Mike do in that soundproof room?
You like to know.
It's
It's usually murder,
right.
but that's
All right, so let's move into our first topic, something we've already talked about a lot, and that is Elden Ring. It's the talk of the gaming world, rightfully so. In my opinion, it has changed the game, and it's opened up a lot of people's eyes because you can make a game that doesn't hold your hand, that comes from a historically difficult franchise, and it can have mass appeal. And as someone that doesn't know a lot about the Dark Souls games, I love this game. I picked it up. It throws you just out there. It doesn't really tell you what to do. It doesn't give you any guidelines. And it's the definition of an open world game that allows for exploration. I love the game. I love everything that I've experienced. The graphics are amazing. The environment's amazing. The music's amazing. The difficulty is perfect. It just continues to make you want to play this game over and over again. So I'm going to toss it to our expert on this particular topic, Mark the Cyborg. Let's talk about Elden Ring and the reaction to Elden Ring.
So the big thing that happened a couple weeks ago was shortly after the launch of Elden Ring, some developers from Guerrilla Games, who are the studio behind the Horizon games, who just launched Forbidden West a week before Elden Rings, not too dissimilar to them launching Zero Dawn a week before Breath of the Wild. So
yeah,
whoever's calling the shots at Guerrilla Games apparently just doesn't read the upcoming releases around them, because it's always super high profile open world games that aren't really similar to Horizon at all in a lot of ways, although I guess they did give Aloy a glider in the new one. But Guerrilla Games devs and Ubisoft devs, both current and former, very passive aggressively and very publicly shitting on Elden Ring, which I don't think was a very good idea. And then there was like your typical pity party afterwards of people retweeting the threads being like, see, this is why it's proof that gamers are so toxic, because these people just shared their thoughts and opinions and they're getting absolutely flamed. I guess people aren't allowed to speak. And my whole kind of perspective on it is like, it's not that you're not allowed to speak. It's that if you're a developer, a game developer that has Guerrilla Games or Ubisoft Montreal in your Twitter bio, and you criticize another game developer, especially in kind of a catty, passive aggressive way. Like, I think the guy's quote was something to the, I don't have the reference on me here, but it was something to the effect of, when I looked at Elden Ring's UX, I realized that people actually don't care about quality of life features at all. My life is a lie, or something like that. And then people are like, they obviously also don't care about good quest design or game performance. And honestly, the performance thing, I'd actually kind of agree with them on. But when it comes to the main things like the UX, the user experience, and the quest design, Elden Ring is not in any way worse than those other games. It's just completely the opposite from a philosophical standpoint. Do you guys have any thoughts you want to bring in here, or should I elaborate on that?
No, go, unless if anyone wants to jump in, they can. You know how we are. We'll interrupt if we got something to say, so you can go ahead and elaborate.
The base premise is a Ubisoft open world, as well as both Horizon open worlds, from what I gather. I played Zero Dawn twice. I haven't played Forbidden West yet. Is a map full of icons that you go to in order to do tasks and quests and tick things off of this map. Elden Ring, and actually also Breath of the Wild, give you a map that has nothing on it. A map screen, not the actual world, but your map screen, when you open it up, nothing is really marked on it. There's things that if you know what you're looking for, you can be like, okay, that's probably a cave, that's probably a mine. But ultimately, you have to go out and find the adventure yourself. And that from a rule book standpoint, when you're Ubisoft developer or a Sony PlayStation Studios developer thinking, okay, here's an open world game, these are the rules that we need to follow to make this a blockbuster billion seller game. Elden Ring basically is just like, nah, fuck that, we're not doing any of that. We're going to do basically the opposite of all of those things. And people at these other devs are just like, well, they're doing everything wrong, and people like it. I guess they just have a bias on FromSoft. It's like, no, people like not being babied. They like not having their hands held. They like being in a situation where
Freedom.
it's like, this is a harsh world. Go conquer it. There's plenty of options. There's plenty of people that'll help. There's plenty of communities that you can go talk to and get new strategies, find new builds. I mean, I posted a video on this channel how to get a broken weapon like within 90 minutes of playing, and I walked everybody through it. So it's not like there's not ways you can make this game more approachable or find help. And ultimately, if you want the game to play like a Ubisoft game, go find a guide, go step by step through it, and be like, okay, now I'm doing this quest. I guess I need to go here, then I need to go here, then I need to go here.
And that's the beauty of it. It gives you all of these options. I mean, like, you can, I mean, again, I'm not too deep into the game. I'm somewhat deep, but like, you don't have to fight anything you don't want to. It makes you want to fight everything.
Well, this is the first game that's like that.
Yes.
Dark Souls least style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But when it comes to the developer specifically speaking out about that, it's almost like what they were mad about is that they look, we at Ubisoft, we do all this stuff. Look at all the things that's in your user interface to try to make the experience better. Look at all the time we put into this type of thing. But it seems like the journalists and the people who write out on Metacritic, they just don't care about that. They're just simping for Elden Ring, even though they don't give you guys all these options. It's like, well, that's part of like what the game is about, though, is that kind of bare bones feel, and it's not hand-holding, it's not leading you through. And then once they started kind of piling on and they didn't get a good response from that, then they just started shitting on the game in general, and then it went really bad for them. Mm-hmm. And it's not the only, like, we've seen this weird stuff. Like this is the thread that I saw going viral a few days ago. Right here from Evan Lottie, who is, I think, is it PC? Yeah, PC Gamer, editor-in-chief right now. Wow, Elden Ring has lost 50% of its players in just 1 month. Rough launch, not enough content, silence from the developer, and no roadmap or battle pass in sight. Dead game. And what he's trying to do is take the piss out of people who do look at Steam charts for things, say, like Halo. The
Halo developers were the ones that got on this. I'm not on Twitter, but even I saw the Halo developers jump on this.
This guy, though, I think this was bait. Like he is joking, but it's just like it sounds kind of dickish to be like, okay,
he's joking, but it's not funny because the reason it's not funny is because, one, losing a single player game, losing 50% of its players in the first month is not like you shouldn't be reporting it like it's bad. When a
It's not
multiplayer
comparable to a live service game.
Correct. It's not compared to a live service game that has lost 97% of its fucking players. You know what I mean? You can't compare those things. So I get what he's trying to do, but it's not funny at all in any way, because it's completely missing the mark. He's saying, do you know that Dead Game Battlefield 2042 was one of the 12 highest earning games of 2021 on Steam? Like that matters. Look, so I guess so was Destiny 2, which has been out for forever and is a live service game that didn't even launch, yet it's still, according to you, making almost as much money.
And it's such a short-sighted opinion as well, because that Battlefield game, even if it made a lot of money now, if they released one tomorrow, it would flop on its ass, because you've completely destroyed your entire reputation of your studio, or your developers, and the title itself. Things like that aren't simple, and I don't think it was bait, but I don't think it was meant to be a joke. That was a snarky insult at people of that you do this and you insult these and you don't even understand your opinion and I'm so much better than you, is the way I take stuff like that. And
they're mad at videos like Disperuse. They're mad at videos like here on Gaming with Geeks. That's what they're mad about, is people reporting based on sales and what gamers are feeling.
Well, I mean, this is the classic thing. Like, this is a game that, I mean, and again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think it's almost universally positively received at this point. Elden Ring. I mean, generally speaking, I mean, nothing's going to get 100% of everyone, but I'm just saying, this game is winning over the hardcore Dark Soul fans and the normies. Generally speaking, am I wrong about that?
I think my consensus is it's a pretty good game. Yeah,
my brother is a huge Dark Souls fan. It's probably his favorite video games ever. And he says it's probably his least favorite of the 4 like Dark Souls games so far. And I know technically this isn't a Dark Souls game, but it is at the same time.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Like even copy and pasting enemies, it's like it's basically the same game. So he said it's his least favorite, but he still loves it. Like he's still happy with it. It's just you're comparing greatness to greatness at that point. So
yeah.
The issue is when you've got something which is just open and dumps you into the world, it changes the game design and the world, because now you actually have to design the game for the fact that the players find their way through it and explore it naturally. For me, the biggest change in sort of game design was from Morrowind to Oblivion. Morrowind, it had a journal, but there was no magic marks on the map or anything, so the actual quest design itself, they told you landmarks, and so they had to put landmarks in the world. The world had to be specifically designed for people to navigate by. And then you went into Oblivion, and now, it's all random generated. We don't have to care about the world anymore. We'll just give you a magic compass. And it entirely changed gaming, and everyone else went from that from then on. Even to the point that now they will do quests where if they want you to find a hidden letter in a house, the compass points to the letter which is meant to be hidden in the house, so you didn't even need to look for it yourself. It's ridiculous. And so finding stuff like Elden Ring which doesn't tell you. Now, I do think there are some improvements that could be made which don't take away from the difficulty, but just enable you to actually do the content. Like, I have quests that I don't know about because I've forgotten, because, you know, I wasn't doing 12-hour sessions and did all the quests in one go. So I've talked to an NPC, forgot I've talked to them, and don't know what I'm meant to do, and there's no way for me to find that out. Unless I go and Google what are the quests in the game, which seems a bit stupid to me. So I would like something like a journal that records what I've already heard so I can go back and look for it. But for everything else, no, I like the way it's delivered.
Yeah, they did add an update now though, where if
I like that,
if you can select any of the Site of Graces, and any NPCs that are there will be named. And so if you are saying, hey man, like I don't know what's going on with Ronnie's quest line, you'll be able to find Ronnie.
I don't know Ronnie's got a quest line.
Well, I mean, you would if you'd already talked to her. You know what I mean? Like, so
if I remembered. You're overestimating my... Like, I'm supposed to remember that I talked to this person who then gave me a quest. Well, I don't, because if I played 3 days ago, I've forgotten everything that happens.
Well, if you want, you can go check in on them, see if they have anything at all to tell you. And if they don't, then you're probably not in the middle of a quest line.
I don't know why you don't have a pen and paper with you to just, write down every interaction.
I'm supposed to go around to every NPC to find out if they've got a quest that I've already spoken to them about. Seems insane to me when you can just have a journal which lists the quests.
Well,
like,
yeah, but back
it's not
back
this
in the
isn't
day,
difficult. I do think that's bad game design.
back in the day, that used to be a thing. Like if you went back and played the original Bard's Tales and stuff, you actually had to write down. They gave you a journal with like the booklet that you had to write stuff down because like they did not tell you where things were. They didn't give you updates on stuff. But I agree, like a journal would be. A journal doesn't. You're not hand holding. But like in today's games, like with like a Ubisoft game, they literally have like a glowing trail that tells you where you're supposed to go, or that you can just literally just run the path and find where it is. But the other thing is, there's like this weird conversation like not being had about the fact that games have been significantly dumbed down just in general. I mean, the path from Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, those games got progressively more simple. They're not complex by any means. And this is like, I wouldn't even say Elden Ring is significantly complex, but it feels like an old school RPG where you just had to figure shit out and you had to, like back in the day, that was a game constraint, but still it was part of gaming. I remember having notebooks for RPGs that I was playing where you wrote shit down, you wrote characters down, or you drew your own maps because you didn't know what the fuck the place looked like. I mean, some of these places are, procedure, like you can walk into a basement or like a dungeon and be like, oh, this is similar to the dungeon I walked in earlier in Elden Ring. But the concept that players have to do work in the game is not going to just hand you the win on a platter is kind of almost like a lost art form. And I think that that's part of the thing with like games journalists and a lot of these people, even companies like Ubisoft. Ubisoft's answer with like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was quantity over quality. There's so much shit to do in that game, but if you're over leveled, they're just meaningless, boring quests that do nothing and drive the plot very little. And that was like a huge failing point of like Odyssey. Valhalla is a little bit better, but even with that, it's still a problem because there's so much shit to do and none of it really means anything. At least Elden Ring, you feel like you're accomplishing something when you finish off like a dungeon or you finish off like a quest line. So
there is an attitude among game developers that gamers are stupid and that if you give them a choice, they won't know what to do. And this goes back a long, long time. Deus Ex 1 to Deus Ex 2. They said that the developers, they said that the gamers couldn't understand the difference between the ammunitions in the first game from like pistol and sniper rifle. So in the next one, they just didn't have ammunition types because they thought it was too complicated for gamers. Yesterday, a Warzone developer came out and said that we really need to reduce all the playlist options in Warzone because people will go on that menu screen and not know what to do because there's too many options. And I'm like, there's about 4.
Yeah, you got a choice between 2 maps and about 3 different game modes.
Yeah, we've split up the play base too much. Everyone's confused. We've got to have to cut them all down. I'm like, how stupid do you think you are? We used to have big, complex server browsers where you could not only choose your server, but your map list and all the mods and everything else. We did it all fine, but now, no, for some reason, everyone's got to be treated like a baby. And I think people are...
They're trying to maximize their audience too. You know what I mean? Like they are trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And so I do get that from a certain extent. And like what they'll say is, oh, well, if you don't want this, then you can turn it to minimize the UI. You can have options in games to put like, okay, I don't want to be handheld, as opposed to the game being created in that manner. But I think most people would agree that they've gone too far with that. But when you look at something like Assassin's Creed and you look at how well Odyssey sold, if you're Ubisoft, and you see like that's the way you did it and you sold like crazy numbers, it's tough to convince them to do it otherwise.
Well, I want to kind of tie it into like what we were talking about earlier with difficulty and everything. And part of the reason why I think Elden Ring is being so successful specifically is because they know their audience and they've continued to put out, like, it's about expectations too. Like when you're getting a game from those specific developers, you're expecting something along the lines of Dark Souls. So when you get more of that, you're happy with it. Now they could change it. They could make it more accessible. They could try to dumb it down to reach a bigger audience, but that would fundamentally change what those games have been about up to this point. And its core fan base would probably be disappointed by it. And so I don't even think that it's always like that people just want a challenge out of a game. Because I guarantee you, like Kirby just dropped yesterday, and Kirby's a always historically a very easy game. It makes sense. It's mostly for children. That if they came out with a Kirby game and all of a sudden it's like Dark Souls difficulty, people would reject it. So I think a lot of it is just what is your established fan base? What are people's expectations and what do they want from it? And I think that's what's so awesome about this game is that it delivered on that. And they do trust their audience to be intelligent, to figure it out, to memorize the patterns, to be patient, to level up, to grind, all that stuff. And
I think that exact thing happened with that game Kena earlier this year, Kena Bridge of Spirits, the one that Krista was really looking forward to, because it seemed like, hey, this is a Pixar kind of 3D platformer, like kids game. And apparently the combat in it is actually like super difficult. I didn't play it, so I'm not speaking from experience.
I know Ryan played it a little bit.
It's not, I mean, it's not fucking Kirby, that's for sure. It's far closer to Elden Ring than it is to Kirby.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, when I think your key demographic are people who watched a trailer at E3 and were like, oh my God, it looks like a Pixar cartoon. You go in and you give them a game that is more comparable to Elden Ring than Kirby, and a bunch of them are probably going to be pissed off. But I think that Elden Ring selling like 12 million copies in 3 weeks, which is kind of unreal. If anything, proves that if you don't think, how can we hit the widest possible demographic, and just think, let's make something that's really good for a specific type of gamer, then all those gamers start playing it, telling their friends about it. Even the normies who just want to play shit like Kirby start getting crazy amounts of FOMO, and then they end up buying it anyways. 70% of them probably are like, well, fuck this game, this is way too hard. But 30% of them end up being like, yeah, you know what? Actually, games that I can't just press forward and jump every so often to finish are actually pretty good. Like maybe I'll play more games like this. And that's why I really like it when From Software releases a game, because that tends to always be what happens.
I think overall, I think Elden Ring is good for the industry. And I hope we see more of this. I hope we let me ask you this question real quick on kind of that topic we're talking about, Mark. Just in terms of like the difficulty of games and versus the audience. Like, would you, because I know you've played all of them recently. I have not played them recently except for Dread, but on the difficulty side, is Dread the most difficult Metroid game?
Debatably, I think Super Metroid's harder. Like I think I had a more difficult time fighting Ridley in Super Metroid than any one boss in Dread. But I think a big part of that is in Dread, you've got a lot more tools at your disposal. So things like, I'm going to, as simple as it sounds, one move makes Dread easier, even though from a nuts and bolts standpoint, it might be argued as more difficult. Being able to slide. Just flat out being able to slide underneath things that are coming at you is kind of gigantic. And also the controls are so tight. But at the same time, it might just be that Dread is more tuned for a player like me. So it's kind of hard to exactly.
What about you, Johnny? Because I know you're,
NES Metroid, NES Metroid, I think, is the hardest. I mean, that might not count to some people because it's so dated at this point. But I mean,
from a mechanic standpoint, or just harder to find your way around? Because that was, I think, the hardest part.
I mean, it's harder to not die. It requires much more patience because, I mean, every single time you start, because there is no save station, so you enter in a password. You start with 30 health every time. And so, I mean, there's a lot of extra steps you have to do just before you can make your run to even take on a boss. And so it's definitely grindy at some points. And then if you die, you have to stay patient with it because you got to do that whole process over again. So yeah, that one's really hard. If I had one major complaint with the Prime games, it's that they were just too easy. They really are easy. And they get easier as it gets later on because you have too many energy tanks.
I thought 2 was harder than 1, but 3 was a lot easier than 2.
Two was weird hard because like some of the mini bosses, like a lot of the guardians, like the Spider Guardian and the Boost Guardian, are harder than the big bosses like a Morbus and Quadraxis. And so that game's difficulty was just all over the place. It was unbalanced.
And the reason I bring that up is just because Metroid Dread will probably be the best selling Metroid ever. Now, obviously, the install base on the Switch is massive anyway, but I just thought that was kind of interesting based on the points you guys were making. But like I said, I think Elden Ring overall is good for gaming. I think it'll be good moving forward for developers. Hopefully, it'll give them a little more Obviously not all of them, because a lot of them are going to add the dumbed down stuff, and that's how it's going to be. But hopefully there's developers out there to be willing to take some risk now and make some games that aren't so dumbed down and give people a lot of freedom. So I think it's good for the industry, especially how successful it's been and how widely accepted it's been. We got Mikey. Apparently there are rumors that PlayStation will show off their Spartacus project sometime next week, which is an Xbox Game Pass competitor. I sent Ryan a link in Instagram off the alleged leak. What are your guys' thoughts? So I have heard some of these rumors, and I would like to know what you guys are thinking about this.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet, Mikey. I'll check my Instagram, though. So Spartacus has pretty much been known for a while that it is essentially PlayStation's Game Pass, that it's going to... that there's going to be a multi-tiered system, which I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but it's going to try to wrap in, PlayStation Network and the new Game Pass type of function. PlayStation will probably just name it like something PlayStation keeps it very fucking simple.
They're good
with their naming.
They're good with that. They're good with that too. They're good with their branding, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, they're good with the controllers. They've always been the same, with the couple of tweaks, which again, that's one thing PlayStation's been good at and Microsoft and Xbox have not been good at. But I'm curious,
I did see a leaked image that showed, I think, 4 tiers. It was like a bronze, silver, gold, and platinum tier. The platinum one was the only one that had ability to play PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 1 games. And it was $60 for 3 months. So basically $20 a month. So I think they're streamed as well. So if that leak turns out to be true, I don't see good things for this, to the point that I think Sony would almost be stupid to announce it. And especially because also in that same leak, they were saying that first run PlayStation exclusive games, like say God of War will be the next major one coming out, not included at all.
Not even in the platinum or whatever.
Not even in the platinum one. No, the platinum one, what apparently you're playing for, at least according to the leak, that I forget what the name of the guy is who leaked it. I could probably look it up, but there was a lot of PlayStation games, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games that you could play, but apparently none of them will be first run day one launches the way Xbox is doing it. And I think the argument was made that they want to keep the premium experience of a PlayStation exclusive launch intact. But I think that sounds like, it sounds like, we kind of want to just make our service a little bit shittier than GameStop with extra steps, if you ask me, or Game Pass. Sorry.
I do have, you want me to share this image? Yeah. This is the leaked image that people are putting out there. Is this the one you saw, Mark?
Yeah, that's the exact one.
Okay. So subscribe to PlayStation Plus Neo. Does that mean, so it's supposed to mean now, or is it supposed to be Neo?
I guess
Neo. I don't. Well, never mind. I just said that sound. They usually name good shit good. That doesn't sound good. So this is every 3 months, right? So this is basically $20 a month. PlayStation Plus Platinum, online play. Okay, obviously free game demos.
So that means, because you're saying they're rolling PlayStation Plus into this. So if I want to play COD on my PlayStation Online, I have to get this stupid thing.
Fine, playing free game demos would be $120 a year now. Yeah, according to this pricing structure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look at the
free game demos is all in here too.
Months, yeah, okay. So 3 months would be $30 a month, I guess, or $30 a year. So that actually isn't too bad.
Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's go it from the very bottom, so we know what is all online play. So just like now, you gotta have a PlayStation Network account. So online play and free game demos. That's what you get for effectively $3.50 a month. Yeah. PlayStation Plus Silver. Online play, free game demos, and game streaming. Now, I assume that game streaming means you're able to stream from your PlayStation
directly
to Twitch and stuff like that. Like we've seen that.
I think it means
game streaming is where you play remotely. Yeah.
So
it's on their
so you can play on your tablet using a PlayStation controller.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Xbox's Play Anywhere thing.
Oh,
okay.
I can play certain games. I can play
certain
games.
It's
not good.
Yeah.
I can play certain games on my phone. Because I can play certain games remotely from my phone or like things like that are on my Xbox. So
No, just
I
to be
would
clear for
never
anybody
use
tuning
that.
in, we're not saying this is confirmed. This is a rumored leaked.
This is the leaked image.
You know, so we'll see if this turns out to be true.
PlayStation Plus Gold, online play, free game demos, game streaming, monthly free games, and monthly store discounts. Ooh, 10% discount at the store, Mark. And then monthly
that's
free
exactly
games.
normal PlayStation Plus is the gold tier.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Yeah, this
now.
is
So
like
basically
normal.
they're saying the $30 for every is I kind of think of these as annual though. So 30 times 3, so $90 a year now. Yeah, right. Yeah, because $30 per 3 months.
No. Well,
No, they'll probably do that
No.
thing where if you pay for
120.
12 months, you get it like, a little
120.
bit cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll give you. I'm sure they'll knock it down to $99 a year if you.
Okay,
wanted
but
to pay it
that's
yearly.
still $40 more expensive than PlayStation Plus is right now. And
Right.
PlayStation Plus right now, you get the free games every month, like the monthly free games. That has always been a thing for PlayStation Plus. That it was kind of the big reason they said, "Hey, the good news is now you have to pay for online play on PlayStation, but you get a few free games every single month, and it's only $60 a year or whatever." And so it seems like they're going to introduce some new features in what, to me, at least looking at this, assuming this is true, which it might not be. So if this is like a week from now and we're cutting up a Mark the Cyborg Gets Owned compilation, just know that I'm aware this is not 100% real. But if this is, they're basically making the standard PlayStation Plus more expensive, making it slightly more expensive to have the same PlayStation Plus with a few less features, and making it a more expensive tier that you can then stream some PS3, PS4, and PS5 games. But which granted is probably the only way to get PS3 games, but you can already do that with PlayStation Now. So I think if they made it so that flat out perfectly emulated all PS3 games, like every single Sony first party PS3 game was downloadable for local play on a PS5, that would be worthwhile. But as it stands now, this seems like Game Pass is just retarded cousin. Like,
Well, and that's the thing is,
Why is Johnny calling us out in chat instead of on the stream? Just call us out on the fucking stream.
Because
I don't know what you meant by co-host. You should have just
because
said Mark.
I'm brutally honest, but I'm not rude enough to just interrupt when somebody's saying something. So
Passive aggressive.
He's
yeah.
passive aggressive to put it in chat.
Yeah.
I knew you dumbasses would read it. I don't care.
And Matt says an S on the end.
Passive aggressive. I know you look at the chat.
I don't look at the chat. I'm
I
gonna be
don't.
honest with you.
You found it somehow.
The thing is, if this is true, if this pricing structure is true, they're going to get destroyed because Game Pass in the last 2 years has added like so much value in terms of the different things that they've acquired and what you can get, like the bang for your buck, which almost like it's outlandish at this point because what it offers, there's no possible way any person could actually get the full value of it because there's so much shit now. Like you don't have time for that. No fucking human being has time to like play everything that's on Game Pass right now. And I don't know everything they might be offering in this tier, but I doubt it's going to be as much as Game Pass can offer. And it looks like it might be more expensive because if you're talking, this would be $240 for a year of this. What's Game Pass right now?
I think it's with everything, it's like 170 or something.
Game Pass Ultimate for me is $20 Canadian a month. So, and that's Ultimate is PC, Xbox, and streaming. But Game Pass on its own, I think for you guys, if you're just doing it on console, is $10 a month.
Well, Mark, you were biggest advocate of Game Pass, in the past year. Like, so do you think they can even compete at this point?
I think they can, but not if they're trying to cut the razor as like close to the margin as possible.
My question is what happens with this if you have this what they're competing with Game Pass? Do you think that the Call of Duty element comes into play where they don't have access to Call of Duty to put it on their PlayStation Plus Platinum down the road? Do you think that ties into it?
Well, I mean, Microsoft has said that they have no plans to make Call of Duty exclusive, though I guess it's a wait and see on that one. I think what they're really trying to do is make the value proposition for getting a PlayStation over an Xbox when it comes to the services seem at least comparable. And I think that that's probably again, I doubt that this is how they're going to actually advertise it with these 3-month tiers that seem sneaky because even we were having trouble with the math, as Johnny clearly pointed out.
You were having trouble with
okay, fine.
If you got it right, I wouldn't have said anything in the first place.
Jeremy, how much is platinum per year?
How much is platinum per year?
Yeah.
So 60, 100 to 240.
Okay. How much is silver lethal lightning?
$20
per year.
That's all you're getting.
Obviously 120.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one having
Gold's
trouble with the
160.
math. Okay, that's written in a weird way. Doing 3 months times 4 plus
weird.
whatever this is.
It is weird.
All right.
That's my only
weird.
point.
All right,
okay?
here's my my question to all you guys. Do you think that this is real?
No.
100%. No.
It doesn't
I
even
don't-
match up with what Sony's been saying.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I hope
So-
it's not.
Sony have been making a lot of noise recently about how they want to move into platforms which aren't just basically their own console. They want to move into PC. They've been saying that a lot. One of the acquisitions of Bungie was they even said to get their expertise into moving into other markets and coming up with live service platforms across a far more sort of. It's at the moment they've got a walled garden, and they could stay in there forever and eventually lose because everyone else will move into other spaces, or they can join everybody else. And I think this entire service is aimed to enhance that goal and move into other places. I think that's why Xbox and Microsoft have been so nice with them, because essentially they're trying to do the same thing. And the longer Sony just focus on, well, we've got a PlayStation, we just want to focus on that, they're eventually going to lose as Microsoft moves more into the PC market. And if this was just what we've seen there, it goes against everything they've said. And they have to fight Xbox Game Pass. Otherwise, they'll just lose. And that just didn't offer enough value. Even the things about their new games, I think they'll, whether it's day one, that's what it gets me, but I think they will have to if they want to compete with Xbox Game Pass, or they lose by default.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how that all plays out. Let's see. Fadongus Company says, just wanted to say thanks. Was about to drop Elden Ring, but then I saw one of your guys' live streams. Really encouraged me to keep getting better. Just beat Radon a few days ago and have no clue where to go, but I don't care. I mean, yeah. I'm glad that helped motivate you. I think you should. The game is, at least from my perspective, the little bit I've experienced with it, which is just fantastic. The opportunities that it gives you to explore, and so I definitely would think it would probably reward you if you keep grinding through it. So, Woke Hogan says, if the leaks are true, then Sony is once again showing their delusion. Might as well keep calling it PlayStation now. Yeah, I don't think those leaks are true. I really, really don't. And on that point, I got Sailor Mercury says PS Plus can't compete with Game Pass, overpriced. So I guess we'll see how it all plays out. But if you're asking, I think most of us do not think that is real, but it's possible. So I guess time will
It's
tell.
definitely possible. It wouldn't be the first time that Sony did something that people were just like, that they were so egotistical that they didn't even think people might have a problem with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could pretty easily transition into the Gran Turismo stuff for that.
Yeah, we could jump right into that. I do want to say, massive crowd today for our Gaming with Geeks monthly podcast. Thank you guys. The more you guys support us, the more love we see, the more people that are watching, and lets us know we can do more stuff like this when we are all available. So thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you guys for watching, smashing the melee button, being in the comments. Thank you so much. And yes, Fiverr Chief, I see your comments. Of course I do. I see all the comments. I just ignore Ryan's. Why is Mark the Cyborg sharing the screen? What the hell are you sharing?
Oh, I shared the Elden Ring if Ubisoft designed it.
Oh, there we go.
My favorite part of this is press X to activate Tarnish Sense is my favorite part of that whole image. And the random prompt for jump.
I should investigate the cave.
Eagles collected. Message of the day. Enemies detected all around you. They're here.
That's so accurate.
That looks like my screen when I'm playing SWTOR. Just like a million notifications for all these side quests.
And then, like in the bottom left, you got like all the people arguing about the movies and shit. Your chat's just gone schizo.
Yeah.
Press the select
Come
button to
dumpster
open your
69
journal.
is telling me my opinions are trash.
That's really good. That's really good. And look how much that takes away from the immersion of it. You know what I mean? Like it just like when you're playing Elden Ring, there's just you're there and you're there to experience this world and go explore. Whereas this right here, this completely would take you out of the game. You know, like from the perspective of what they created, it would make you feel like the thing that makes, at least from my perspective, when I'm playing Elden Ring, and like it makes me feel like I'm on my own. And so when you get bullshit like this popping up, this is like it subconsciously is telling you like, oh, you have all this help. Like the thing about Elden Ring is it makes you feel like you're on your own. You're out there and you're on your own.
It's a good kind of isolating. Yeah, it's like a lot of games are good at this. I think that's a big reason why me and Mark, like Metroid Prime games so much. It feels like you're on your own. You're completely isolated, and that's another game that pulls it off really well.
Yeah, just read the message of the day telling you there's a new item in the shop to buy.
Right.
Oh,
and the thing is, these salty Ubisoft.
Purchase the Kingslayer sled from Game of Thrones, such as the message in the day. That's pretty. That's pretty. Game of Thrones tie-in merch. That's because of the George R.R. Martin stuff. That's good.
It's fucking great.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was just saying, it just like Elden Ring is really good for what it's supposed to be. And that doesn't mean that, like the salty Ubisoft and Guerrilla devs, it's not that your games, like that there isn't a market for your games. There clearly fucking is. There clearly fucking is still a market for those games. And I really liked Horizon Zero Dawn. And what I've played so far of Horizon Forbidden West, I also like. That doesn't also mean that that's the only thing anyone ever wants.
No, and that's what it comes down to. There is, like we've said on YouTube, YouTube is big enough for any type of content that people want to provide, and the gaming world, we're not saying that every game has to be like Elden Ring. I don't believe that. I don't want that. What I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with having games like this, and we should get more games like this. If there's a developer out there that wants to take that type of risk and do those things, that's exactly what we need more of.
I think it'd be more riskier for them to move away from what they're doing. They've built their whole reputation of we're the guys that make that bullshit game.
Yeah.
You to beat.
Well, and that's the thing. The wrong message to walk away with, just like we've seen it in the entertainment industry, is this is popular. Let's make X like this. Like how many times have we fucking heard, oh, this is going to be more like Game of Thrones? It's like nobody asked for you to make this like Game of Thrones. We want you to make a good property with like a good story, not you to make this like fucking Game of Thrones. So if the answer is let's all make it like Elden Ring, it's like that's not what we asked for. That's not what anybody wants. What we hope you'll do is take risks and not treat players like they're fucking idiots, and not listen to the constant argument and the constant hammering of the tiny gong that these people think matters on Twitter about accessibility in gaming or making games easier for players. Make a game challenging if you want it to, and that's okay. Nobody's gonna be mad at you about it. So,
and there is the idea of sort of going after the lowest common denominator. They seem to think that they keep everyone above that, and if they just keep going down, they'll get bigger market. And it's probably more like a section. You'll gather people around what you're aiming at, but you lose a load of people at the top, and those people don't have games anymore. They just don't exist because everyone's thought, oh well, we could just get everyone if we keep going further down. And so this shows that there's a market which has been completely underserved, and it doesn't really matter what game you do if you just target that market in whatever sort of genre you want. So
it really reminds me of the idea of the rise for both punk music and grunge music in the 70s and 90s respectively, because you had a lot of things like prog rock coming up in the mid 70s that was super popular, but the problem was if you're a 14-year-old kid who just bought a guitar, you can't play the new Yes song because it's just too hard. So then you have guys like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones come out, and they're playing songs with just 3 chords, and you'd have people being like, man, these guys suck. They hardly know how to play their instruments. And then a whole group of people around that was like, yeah, but it actually sounds really good. It's more simple. There's less complex things going on, and that doesn't necessarily mean that progressive rock is bad, or like the crazy hair metal shred stuff that was happening in the 80s before bands like Nirvana came out with grunge that kind of went back to the more 3 chords, like let's just keep it simple and make songs that kids can play on their guitars in their garages. And I think that Elden Ring strips out a lot of that clutter that you just don't necessarily need. So it might not be the right way to develop games, but clearly there's a market for it. Someone likes it.
But it's done a really good job of catering to its core fan base, and its core fan base are really happy with it. And that in turn has translated to people that don't play these types of games go out and buying it. I mean, we saw how it smashed fucking fly. We saw it smashed out like these Dark Souls sales and all that in the first week, right? So it just goes to show if you keep your core fan base happy, more casuals will come along. Because how many I don't own the game, but I've seen a lot of people say like this is their first Souls-like game that they've ever bought. I mean, all you got to do is look at Twitch and
X-Ray Girl's playing it right now.
188,000.
It's got more double.
Yeah.
I'm not good at math, as you can tell by my $20 statement. But it might even have triple the Warzone viewers at the moment.
Yeah.
Really? Holy shit!
So I mean, that's chatting. So you've got your EFOTs at number 1. You got your Valorant. I don't know. Maybe Pokemon's playing, and then Elden Ring.
Yep.
There we go. So it's
it is
that's
actually
awesome. Thank
it
you,
is actually-
D, for the $50 super sticker. Appreciate you.
It is
Go
actually
ahead.
quite casual friendly as well in the fact that because of the open world system, that allows you to go wherever you want. And I would get so bored if I wasn't high enough level to beat a boss and I just had to grind the same stuff that I'd already done over again. Whereas now I can go off to another area and actually manage to succeed that one and go back to a boss that was difficult and now it's manageable again. So they've nailed both. If you want to do it hardcore and go in at lower levels, you can do that. But then if it is your first game, it's difficult, but however challenging you find it, there's always a way past it.
Different
So that
bosses
gave you
are
a
more
sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah. Like everybody gets the same experience, even though they may have to go away and level up more.
And different bosses are more difficult for different builds too. So your build might not be very well suited for one specific boss that's giving you trouble. But if you're going north, you just decide, hey, I'm going to turn south and see what's going on over here. You might find a boss that's a little bit more manageable for you, clear that whole area, come out of it a lot stronger, turn around and go to that one that you weren't suited to fight and just kick the shit out of it. It feels great.
Got this one. Still waiting for that response, Cobra. More to come. I will get back to you, buddy. Looking forward to seeing what you're gonna come up with. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so there's a couple of things I do want to talk about. We are going to talk about Gran Turismo 7, but before that, it's a topic I want to throw around to everybody because it is something that's still pretty relevant, and that is basically the death of Halo Infinite, at least for now. It's dropped 97% of the player base, and this is shocking to me, but not surprising because we've seen this time. But they did such a good job of pulling people in and capturing the essence of Halo from a multiplayer standpoint. And now the game is seemingly unplayable. And I want to throw this into Lethal to start us off in terms of just what we're seeing with Infinite right now. Because as you know, we played a lot of Halo Infinite when it first came out. We were enjoying it. We were patient. You know, we looked at it. We said, we're patient. We're going to give it time. You know, it's broken here. This isn't working. But we're liking the core element of what they've given us here. And now, seemingly, it's dead. So, Lethal.
Well, just going back to when it launched a week early. The gameplay it still is. The gameplay is great. I think it's done everything to capture the core spirit of Halo gameplay while adding some new and fresh stuff like the grapple and all that type of stuff. The issue is the desync, which has been there since day one, has only gotten worse. The desync is now at the point where I could watch Disparu get shot through a wall through my screen, and he's seeing himself getting shot through a different wall, and the guy that's shooting him is still seeing him around the corner. The desync I haven't seen anything like this ever, and the fact that it's only gotten worse over time is amazing. There's no content. There's no new content. It launched in such a state that there was only like 2 playlists, rank and quick play. They've since added, things like SWAT, free-for-all, Fiesta, and all that type of stuff. But what's been done since then? Nothing. There's still no new maps. We're getting towards the tail end of season 1. The mid-season update It wasn't even an update. It was just patch notes saying we're resetting everyone's rank because there's too many high ranked players. Me, for example, just chilling just for that. But no, it was true. There was too many Onyx ranked players because I'd play against Onyx ranked players and be like, this dude's shit. Like, how'd you get here? You just played. If you played the game enough, you could get to that level. But the ranking system as well, rankings competitive Halo, it just doesn't make sense. It's like playing objectives doesn't matter. It was built around kills. If you go crazy in like a capture the flag game and get 20 kills and you win, you're going to skyrocket. You could go like I did like stream sessions where I'd win damn near every game playing with like Disparu, for example, and I would go up like 5-6 CSR points, and then we lose one game and you drop down like 10 points. You're like, well, how is that fun? But there's been no new maps, no new content. The shop launched at an egregiously overpriced amount, and they did lower the prices, but it wasn't enough in my opinion. And when they lowered the prices, they looked as the good guys because they're saying, look, we're listening to the feedback. But the feedback was saying that, hey, this is way too expensive, and you dropping it down $5 or so really doesn't justify the price of cat ears in a Halo game that you're still charging.
That was the downfall. Core problems, the cat ears were the downfall.
The core problems is lack of content, stability issues, ranking system makes no sense, and developers just don't want to communicate. They don't want to talk about it. And every time they do put out a blog post, it doesn't address anything. It's exactly the same as what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2 from EA. Coming soon. We're listening. We're on top of it. Liar. No, you're not. Get fucked. Those are my responses.
Well, it's frustrating, like, as a classic Halo fan, like, there's just way more ways I can enjoy myself going to the Master Chief Collection right now. Like, I still don't have co-op, which is frustrating because my brother's a huge fan of Halo and I can't wait to play alongside him. I'm actually waiting to finish campaign until I get the co-op. Forge, custom games, like there's just not enough. And there are specific groups of people who kind of lean to certain pockets of Halo. Like, I mostly play custom games. I mostly play co-op. I mostly like to do Forge. And all those people, like, are basically tuning out because there's just not, like Lethal said, there's not enough content. There's not enough to keep me interested. And it feels extremely limited too. Like, you have to play this multiplayer game and then you have to play this multiplayer. And when you play ranked, you use these specific weapons. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like being confined when I'm playing a Halo game. That's just,
this came out in November,
yeah.
November.
And they were celebrating
March.
And they were celebrating and they were celebrating how many users they had and how it broke all these records.
It was massive.
Yada. Yeah. It's truly insane to me. Is it playable right now? I have not turned on Infinite in a long time.
It is playable. And then, of course, there was the whole big team battle drama.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It is playable, but you might not have the best time doing it. I mean,
that's so disappointing.
You'll throw your controller at one session. And the customization, I mean, the armor cores, I got my beef with the armor cores, the coding system. But let me just share this.
Well, like I said, I think I talked a bit on Tuesday night's main event, but I basically was like, for all of the, I mean, I don't like Fortnite at all, but look, they keep that game alive. They keep it moving, you know, they keep it rolling.
Jeremy's joining the Halo Infinite needs a battle royale.
I've always felt like it needed a battle royale.
It doesn't need it. It would help. It does not need. Need is the key word. It does not need it. It needs to sort itself out and come back to being the arena shooter that it is.
Ultimately, it needs developers to stay on top of it. That's ultimately what it needs. Is that
a battle royale would help absolutely, and I would try it.
They were having trouble with big team battle. I don't think they like, you know what, this 16-on-16 stuff is a real problem for us. Let's do 100 against 1 and make it so that it's the whole Zeta Halo map, like the single player map.
Mark wins.
I have a quote here. This was from a couple days ago.
Oh, here, my bad.
Rank's all you need to play anyway. So
hang on, my bad. I'm sorry, Lethal was sharing that and I didn't catch it. Go ahead.
The body of customization content that we have on day one ensures that there will be millions of customization combinations for Spartans on the battlefield. That includes things like armor coatings, armor emblems, various armor effects, down to the individual armor pieces. So your shoulders, your gloves, your knee pads, your helmet, your visor, your helmet attachments. Then you look at weapons, and we've got a whole slew of customization offerings there. Vehicles have a huge pool of customizations too. Coatings offer us a unique opportunity to craft some hyper-polished looks and let you express yourselves in ways you've never been able to before. So we're coming at this from a player-first mentality. So what that means is that there's no random loot in this. There's no loot boxes. It's very important to us that everyone understands exactly how they unlock customization content. And we have a variety of places where they can do that. First off is the Battle Pass. All of these rewards are single source, so you're never going to be confused about where things come from. If you can unlock something in the Battle Pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the store.
Fucking what?
A lot of our stuff is unlocked through playing the game and only through playing the game.
We feel like we've got a pretty good selection at launch and what's going to be there for our fans. And this isn't going to be something that is just a static set of items.
So that was a fucking lie.
Literally, all of that ended up being a lie.
Punk ass bitches. None of it happened.
None of it.
I mean, on the advertisement for the Tanrai event, which was the samurai armor, you know, actually, you can go even further back. We can just go to the launch of the game, the what was it called, Heroes of Reach Season 1, and we got all the Spartans and all their armors. And people have gone through it going, shoulder pads not in the battle pass, visor not in the battle pass, armor not in the battle pass, weapon coding not in the battle pass.
Yeah,
in the shop, though.
A lot of the items say like more details to come now. Like when you're like, oh, this one looks cool. How do I get that one? Details to be announced soon.
More
It's like,
details
what?
to come means
Yeah,
it
like-
either has been in the shop before
or it's going to be.
or
yeah,
it's
like,
coming.
it's like,
That's
okay,
all it
so-
means.
Well,
It's a fucking lie.
The thing is, we like Halo back in the day, like you used to be rewarded for like playing the campaign, for instance. That was like a
Yes.
huge deal. It was like, hey, you played the campaign on Legendary, great fucking job. Here's some
get the
badass
helmet.
armor. You get
Yeah.
to walk around with this shit and show everybody how big your dick is. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Nothing. So I'm like, so obviously you don't really give a shit about people playing the campaign. You released it free to play, which tells me that you're trying to reach a broader audience. But then you had nothing for that broader audience to like look at. There was nothing to be like, oh, wow. Like everybody looks the fucking same. Everybody has the same fucking armor. And unless you've been grinding the shit out of the battle pass, like you don't have anything unique to stand out. So, but that was not the case with Halo before. Like Halo Reach
Right.
had so many fucking armor pieces
Mhm.
and so much customization. And then the fact is you release the game and then you go Heroes of Reach. Okay, cool. That's great for people that have played Reach. What about all these new people that you just brought in that have never touched Reach, have never touched a Halo game, don't know really anything about it? What have you offered them except two fucking generic soldiers that have the same fucking armor? You know,
I think
and
that goes back to another point where like customization is a big part of Halo. Like, how do you make your
Yeah.
Spartan look? You know, God forbid they bring back elites. But you know, like Halo Reach example, everything was unlocked through gameplay. Some of it could be a crazy as fuck grind, but like Mike said, that was a flex. You had the skull helmet goes, that means this motherfucker's got played the game a lot. But now we have this thing with they're called armor cores. And that is this worst idea they've come up with, which locks specific armor pieces to certain armor cores.
Stupid.
That's bad. That is really bad. That
Really
means you
bad.
can't mix and match all your different pieces and make something which really could be unique. If you could mix and match everything, you could be like that line Gronk said, you know, you could be totally different and stand out. You could do that. Now, if you have to do armor cores, the way I would do it is I would have them as kind of like pre-builds or loadouts where you could change your armor, and these are like pre-made armor. So instead of changing your armor up, you can just go, this is like armor 1, armor 2, armor 3. When I play solo, I'll use this armor. When I play with my team, we all use the same armor and the same colors, so I'll use armor 2, blah, 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 blah. The only ones that I think on paper should be locked are the fracture ones. I think fracture ones could work, like the samurai armor, for example, could be its own total separate thing. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But then that brings us to armor coatings. Even all the way back in Halo 1, you could pick your color, red, blue, green, purple, pink, orange, blah, 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 blah. And this one, you have to get fucking armor coatings in order to apply that. And you look at some of these coatings, you go, what's the difference? It's a slightly darker red. Just let me pick red. Nah, fuck yeah. You got to grind the battle pass or buy it in the shop.
Yeah, it's them taking cues from Destiny. Funny enough, it's them taking cues from Bungie.
Bungie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have a
thing-
quote here, real quick. Sorry, go ahead, Disbrew. I'll wait.
I was gonna say the thing is for me is I don't think that just because people can't change the color of their armor to exactly what they want, I don't think that's going to be enough to make people not play the game. But when I
No,
was
it
playing
won't be. I mean, the gameplay is what's going to make people not play it.
exactly, and
but
when I was
customization is important.
yeah, but if you don't fix the foundation of your game, it almost doesn't matter what your battle pass is like. Because that was the whole thing. If people focus on the battle pass, it's like, yeah, but when I played with Lethal, I would walk around a corner and get hit with 3 bursts of a BR just from lag alone. And I'm round a corner and I can't see the guy. And I'm still getting attacked.
Oh my God.
It has the single worst netcode of anything I've ever seen. And if, like, you would assume if I grouped up with Lethal, it would choose a server somewhere in the middle of us so that we compromise on ping. But instead, it either chooses me who's hosting or him who's hosting. And so there's always going to be people who have a terrible experience and they can't play. And it seems like they didn't even think about it at all. And if you're an FPS, netcode is your biggest deal. You've got netcode and your maps and your guns. Those need to be solid. Otherwise, people will just leave for a better FPS.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
and
don't get me wrong. The thing with the customization, my point with that is that's just on top of everything else.
Yeah.
But
well, I got a quote. I got a
yes,
quote here
sorry,
from
go ahead.
Bonnie Ross, who's the general manager of 343 Studios. She was talking about that show and trying to give the hand job to the producers of the show. But she said, I think both with the Halo TV series bringing in a broader audience, we're free to play bringing in a broader audience. And then for us, I think it's really learning how to be an ongoing service and having an ongoing dialogue with fans and getting the infrastructure right. And that was 2 days ago. And I'm like, it's too late, bitch. You should have had the infrastructure ready to go if you knew you were going to be reaching broader audiences. You don't go, hey, by the way, when these new people come, we'll figure out how it works and we'll figure out how everybody's doing. And then we'll go, here's a cool game that we, it's the game's already out. And
The
you've
game
already
was delayed a year.
Yeah,
They've had an extra year of time, and this is how
an
bad it is
extra
now.
fucking year of time.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is I could take heat for this, but I feel like the game's half baked. And when I first started getting pessimistic about this game is when I started hearing, oh, well, you'll get this in season 2. Oh, you'll get this 6 months from now. And there's always this push of people going, we want it now. We want it now. We want it now. Like, when is it going to come out? And I can't stand those people because we'll forget about a bad game. It's that quote. It's always credited to Miyamoto. I don't know if it's actually Miyamoto, but like a good game or a rushed game. No, sorry. A delayed game is eventually good. A rushed game is forever bad. And
yeah,
the point
he didn't quite say that, but yeah. Go ahead though. Go ahead.
Yeah, the point is like, God, just like take your time with it. And that's the thing. I remember buying Halo 3 and it was done. You had the game, it was done. And it's just like the fact that it's just like ironing out all these kinks and everything on the fly. It's just frustrating, man. And I just wish that they would just deal with the backlash in the meantime of just people needing to wait. Because has there ever been a game? This is the question I want to ask. Has there ever been a game that you were excited about, but it took so long to come out that by the time it came out, you weren't excited about it anymore?
I don't think so, because it just keeps the excitement stays there. Like people, you're right, Johnny. People get mad and there's backlash for people for delay of a game because like I took time off, I was ready to play it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But then 3 months later, there's still a mass buildup. There's still people that are excited for it. And the craziest part to me about Halo Infinite is how positive we all were for it when it came out.
Yeah.
So even with all this stuff, when it came out and it wasn't complete in terms of the all of the different playlists and everything, but what we cared about was the gameplay, and the gameplay was so fucking solid right off the bat that it's crazy to me that they have just then, since that launch, completely fumbled the ball.
And that's why never stop complaining and don't ever give these fucking people the benefit of the doubt, because we gave them a lot of leeway, rightfully so, because the fact that the core gameplay was there. We're like, you guys, it's not perfect, but it's back to the roots. It feels good. We're having a lot of fun, and they have fucked this entire thing up.
Just getting back to Johnny's point, I kind of disagree with you. It's not so much saying we should have this now. What we're saying is, why the fuck isn't this already here? Like core things, like for example, pretty much everything I just said. Like, how is there no new maps? I mean, this stage into Halo 5's life cycle, there already was Forge mode.
I meant it in the sense before launch, though.
Yeah, he means people asking like why, like, oh, how'd you delay this? Why would you delay this? Like that kind of thing.
Just have it ready to roll.
But this game, the fact that this game doesn't have co-op yet,
Yeah.
like, isn't that like if you're making a Halo game, isn't that like one of the things that
especially
you
on
have
this
to
one
include?
because this one you're driving around on Zeta Halo, which I have my own criticisms of, but that could work pretty well for multiplayer.
What is this?
I
This
think
is
though
competitive Halo. This is desync on competitive Halo.
On a LAN as well, so they're all in
On
the same
LAN.
room.
See that? You hit him, nothing happened. This is like how Ripper and Uche's fight started.
Yep.
Tries to make a play with the Rockets going down to one.
What the fuck?
Going in for the challenge, but not able to take that snipe down. How many whiff Rockets?
There's pro Halo players saying on streams, I only play this because I'm paid to.
Wow.
And because of it, FaZe, they still got opportunities to.
Yeah, that's looking rough.
How?
That one's flat out.
Did you hear the commentator? He said, "How many whiffed rockets are we gonna see?" Like,
Jeez, man,
it's wild, dude.
And this is the thing: if a game's fun,
That's
you
just
can
where
put
it's
up with
getting
this.
beamed for a fucking wall.
Yeah, if you can put up with a game which has these kind of issues for a while, but it will grind down your enjoyment until you just like I don't want to log on that game anymore.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
What?
Boom. Nah,
That's
fuck
a
you.
shock.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I've been raging playing with my brother online. I guarantee you, some of this crap's been happening to me.
Hey,
where
that
I'm like,
one,
"You
that
should
one,
be
I think
dead."
is the biggest example because that hit the wall right next to him. The splash damage alone should have blown him up.
yeah, dude, it's just ridiculous, man. Like,
How? 2 rockets to took.
I had one session where I had decent, like really good connection, and I actually started wondering if it was I had like aim assist or something all of a sudden because it felt great, and I'd never felt like that in Halo before, and then it vanished, and it's just like when the servers are great, it feels amazing, but it's so rare, it actually feels weird when you actually get that. It's insane.
and the thing is, like, 343 has only ever developed Halo games. It's been Halo from the get-go, and you fucked up Halo. Like, it wasn't that hard. Even before this, in 2018 was their like last game that they developed. It was for the fucking arcade. It was like an fucking Halo arcade game. This isn't that fucking difficult. You're Microsoft. You're 343. You do Halo games. Make a good fucking Halo game. Make one that, like, the multiplayer is there for you. You didn't do anything completely out of the box. You know, there will be maybe even some forgiveness if you did something like a battle royale and it wasn't great because you had never done it before. But the thing is, there's also very little excuse because other companies are doing it well. You know what works with other companies. You know what good multiplayer looks like with other companies, and you know what bad multiplayer looks like with other companies. So you can even use examples around you to go, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this isn't the right way to go. And instead, you tried to make a game that was, you know, lowest common denominator that wasn't finished. Just say it's not ready yet,
The biggest shame, though, the biggest shame of all this is the core gameplay is great. So this could have been something fucking forever.
It could have been, but they've clearly fucked it up. Okay, I apologize.
It's going to be another Master Chief collection. Give it 2 years, however fucking long it took, then it'll be really good.
I'm actually going to show something really quick, but I want to read the super chat first because I apologize, Trucker Rob, for the delay. I'm drunk. Jeremy, did you ever hold competitions in Crestview? I need closure. Also, love Lethal's Halo rants on Tuesday. I know that's what you meant to say. Anyway, Viva La Vodka, back to drinking. You know, listen, I am a big, you know, people realize like I don't drink and I've never drank, but I'm a big advocate of people drunk super chatting me. I've never, never had a problem with that. I fully support you drunk super chatting me as much as you want. But in terms of your question, no, I never held competitions in Crestview, Florida, Montgomery, Alabama, and Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Those are the only 2 locations I ever did competitions, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the one that was Murfreesboro, I was part of a bigger tournament that invited Geeks and Gamers to run their Mario Kart tournament because they're a big fighting game tournament. So they ran big fighting games. They had a lot of the top players, the top ranked players there for the fighting games, but they wanted to run Mario Kart. So they asked us to come there to come host the Mario Kart 8 tournament. And that was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That was only one time. But in terms of, my main tournaments, it was all in Montgomery, Alabama. So I don't know who was in Crestview. I probably know the guys that were doing it, depending on what time when this was. I started doing tournaments in 2011 with Black Ops was the first tournament. So yeah, but that's awesome, Trucker Rob. So thank you so much for that. I know we got a couple more from Mikey. Mikey has been lighting us up, and I'll get to yours in a minute because that'll lead us into another topic. Now, I do want to show this. So I think that there's some accuracy here, and I think that there's obviously some that aren't accurate, but I think it's funny as fuck. And I know you guys have probably seen this, but right here, have you guys seen this? The Halo cycle?
Yeah, I have. And, I do
think
think it's a bit
funny.
Gaslighting, to be honest with you.
It is, but I remember people bitching about Halo 3 when it came out. Like,
I don't.
originally, just because people were so hooked on 2. But I do think it's funny because I do remember Halo Reach. Do you remember people bitching about Reach?
Yes, because I was one of them, because the bloom can get fucked.
Yeah, so obviously it's like, so the Combat Evolved, simple, fantastic, pinnacle of the series. It's been downhill ever since. And then 2, I don't remember anybody bitching about 2. But in retrospect, it wasn't as bad as originally thought, and it had some great ideas, executed them well enough. 3, fuck this game, multiplayer shit, and the campaign is broken, RIP Halo. And then it kind of evolves into every time the new one comes out, that shifts. And I do think, like, when you get down to like 4 and 5, nobody's going back to 4 and saying in retrospect, nobody's saying that at all. They are saying that about Reach. Nobody's going to go back to 5 and say in retrospect it's not going to happen.
Halo 5
it actually is
so,
true. 4,
yeah.
there are some redeeming things about 4. 4, I don't think is nearly as bad as a lot of people will often try to argue that it is. And I honestly think the people arguing that have not played it. Like,
so Mark's saying in retrospect, it wasn't as bad as originally thought.
Well,
it had some great ideas and executed them well enough.
I like the Bungie games more, but I enjoyed Halo 4.
If anything, I'd say with Halo 4, it's that it had some great ideas. It just executed a lot of them poorly.
And it didn't ruin the characters. You know,
Halo 5 is
Halo 5 sucks.
It sucks. It's bad.
It ruined Cortana, and in a way, Chief in the same way. As a result, I mean, I think Halo 4 went overboard with the soap opera romance between everything. But I enjoyed the multiplayer, and but yeah, 5 was like Halo Star Wars.
5 was worse than Last Jedi.
That was like Last Jedi. Yeah, it was.
I'd say it was worse in terms of character destruction.
Yeah,
it's no mistake, no coincidence that they basically backpedaled on everything that happened in Halo 5 and Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
but what I don't
Halo
like,
Infinite, they're like, wrap it up.
But what I don't like about memes like this is it tries to take any level of criticism of a classic and equate that to what's going on right now, the modern stuff. Because you said you don't remember anybody like complaining about Halo 2. I mean, I do. Some people still do. Legendary's way too hard. The sniper jackals are way overpowered. They're broken. They're hitting you at times they shouldn't, in areas they shouldn't hit you. Yeah, I mean, people complain about that all the time. And then the E3 tease that everybody was so hyped about how great Halo 2 looked. We never got those levels. Like, there's levels that they showed us in trailers leading up to the launch of Halo 2
had a lot of content.
Yeah, they were dealing with all kinds of time constraints, so there's stuff we didn't get. It was a great game. It's one of the best games Halo's that's ever been. But I mean, you can find complaints with just about any game. So trying to equate that to something that's almost universally hated by everyone, that's ridiculous.
I also don't remember anybody ever saying Halo 3's multiplayer was shit.
Yeah, I don't recall anything. I remember Halo 3 got a little bit of hate, which I could see
Halo 3 getting some. Halo 3's campaign, at least, I could see getting shit for being a little short.
It was short,
I think it is,
but it was short, but sweet. It was like
it's really good.
Well, generally speaking, like I don't know if and I'm saying when I say I remember some criticism, it's the most minor. But Halo 3 to me is one of the most beloved games I ever remember being a part of in terms of just that was peak gaming. Halo 3 was so fucking loved. It was so big time.
This
You know what I
reminds
mean?
me of
So-
like during Last Jedi when they were like, yeah, but nobody liked Empire when it came out. Like, get fucked. Everyone liked Halo 3.
Yeah. Like Halo 3 was just it was incredible. It
And
really
that's
was.
crazy. Like I just remember when it launched and like with the multiplayer and how naturally everything just was integrated into it, whether it be the freaking bubble shield or the gravity hammer, like everything they introduced to it that was new, we loved immediately. So yeah, I
can remember people going crazy in a good way, loading up to do like remember when you could do campaign co-op? And, you know, first player would be chief, second player would be arbiter, and the other two players would be elites, which makes sense because they got energy shields as well. So they could actually, you know, compete in the situations that were going on. And like player 3 and player 4 would be like, I'm a fucking elite. This is awesome.
And imagine not only having co-op, but it was built into the campaign. It was natural because you were chief and you were arbiter. Like,
well, I mean, with Halo Infinite's co-op, I can see how they're running into trouble with it because Halo Infinite, it would be almost like playing Grand Theft Auto or Far Cry in co-op. Like I know Far Cry has a co-op mode, but the Far Cry co-op mode is like notoriously twitchy about how exactly it works because you can go into someone else's Far Cry game, both of you can play a main story mission and you'll get experience for it, but only your friend actually gets the mission completed. So then if you want to go back and play it on your own, you have to go play those missions again. And because of Halo Infinite's sort of open world concept, I could see them being like, we're probably going to have to make it a different kind of co-op. And if we can't make it the couch co-op thing where two people can just fire up a Halo game and play it through it beginning to end, drink a 2-4 of beers through a weekend, people are going to be pissed. And I think that's probably why they haven't been too forthcoming with the details. Because
well, I hope we still do because there's already things we've been promised that we haven't got. So I mean, you think I just like this game now? If we don't get co-op, we'll be flipping out.
I'm not saying they should cancel it or that they should be forgiven if they do. I'm saying that I think I can understand why they're not saying, oh yeah, co-op definitely next week. Don't worry, it's perfect. Because if they do that, they're going to launch it and it's going to be total trash. Like I think they're trying to figure out exactly how to make it work in a way that doesn't piss people off.
Well, again, what I said wasn't that we need it now. I mean, my biggest thing was it's a half-baked game. They should have waited and dealt with people pissing and moaning in the meantime. I mean,
they've got a huge
I'm waiting for Metroid Prime 4, but when that day happens, when that game releases, I'm not going to be any less excited when it happens because I will be so glad it's here. And I pray to God that it's a complete game. If it's not, then I'll be really
sure. But Nintendo probably also isn't counting on Metroid Prime 4 as like the reason people need to start looking at the Switch as a viable purchase, right? Whereas like Xbox was touting Halo Infinite as the Xbox Series launch title, and they did at least have the balls to delay it a year, which is probably not something most people would have expected them to do. Like it's more likely that we would get a totally broken launch game, and then the excuse would be, oh well, I mean it's a launch title, we're just learning the hardware. It's like, yeah, well, or you could have delayed it and made the game a bit better. But
I get why it's understandable. That doesn't mean I gotta like it though.
That's
true.
Yeah, should we be expecting some kind of improvement though over time? Like from launch, what there's actually, I wouldn't mind if I could see some things improving. Like, well, eventually it'll get there, but there's been nothing.
Yeah. All we really want is better grenades in Halo. That's all we. That's the only reason we're all talking about it. We just want better grenades.
Mike's been cutting out for me this whole night, so I haven't heard hardly anything he said. I did hear him say grenade though.
It's better.
And now he's really.
Don't worry about what I said. We all know it's true.
I'll tell you what, you can say whatever you want. What I heard is I didn't play Halo 1 or 2, so I'm going to start making shit up about how the grenades work.
I played the fuck out of those games.
Like, none of us have had any problems with Mike's audio. I think you have some sort of racist filter in your headphones.
Yeah.
No, like, I'm hearing, seriously, I'm hearing like 1 or 2 words per sentence.
It's probably X-Ray Girl screaming because we all hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's the PTSD from previous conversations.
Yeah, the only time X-Ray Girl's screaming in Mark's house is when she's playing a tough video game.
I don't discuss those.
Hence the divorce.
Trucker Rob just dropped 100. How's this for a drunk super chat, Jeremy? Nah, I'm too gone to be snarky. Love you all. Take care, you all. Something, blah, blah, drunk chat stuff. Thank you, Trucker Rob. Appreciate you. And again, I did not expect this stream to get the amount of people that are watching it, over 600 people. Thank you guys on this channel. It's amazing. Your support has been amazing. Trust me, I will be looking at doing more of this when time applies. I don't know if we can get us all together to do this more often, but we can, as many of people that is available. Thank you guys so much. I'm listening to you. I hear you, and I appreciate you. Mikey Gusler, my friend and I, let's see, at work, let me see if I can highlight it. My friend and I at work have a theory about Titanfall 2. Since EA released it close to Battlefield 1, we believe that EA intentionally ran Titanfall 2 into the ground so they could acquire Respawn. What are your guys' thoughts? I don't know if they intentionally did that, but
I think someone had the bright idea to be like, this is what we're doing to beat Call of Duty this year. Two-pronged attack. We're going to have the World War I battlefield, and then the next week, the futuristic Titanfall, and Call of Duty's not going to know what to do with themselves. And it just really didn't work.
I'll never, I will never understand why Titanfall 2 never gained more traction. I mean, I understand the release, and I get all of that, but goddamn, the game is fantastic. It is truly one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. Online multiplayer. It had a great campaign. I'll never understand why it didn't get more traction. I like when Titanfall 2 was announced, because I bought an Xbox One for Titanfall. That's how hyped I was for the first Titanfall. So that I bought an Xbox One just for that. It came out in March of that year. I was hyped from the moment that I saw the trailers and heard about the development team. I was all in. And then, of course, the game lived up to the hype, and I loved it. And so when you got it on multi-platform, when it was going to be PS4 and Xbox, I was like, oh, this is what Titanfall needed. This is going to take it to the next level. And it just didn't. And I will never understand it.
Just shows you how important first impressions are. I mean, right up until the end of its life cycle, people thought that Battlefront 2 EA still had all that bullshit that was in from the start. First impressions are really important.
But it had good first impressions, is what I'm saying. Like it did. Like it came out of the gate hot.
It did.
If you played it.
If you played it.
That was the thing. People were on the other games, and so they forget about it. One of the things I always hear about Titanfall 2 is it's got the best campaign that no one's ever played, because people just didn't buy the game. And then at one point, EA's even given it away free, and people are like, yeah, I'll try it. And then it's just, well, it's kind of
it just never got traction. I just don't understand it. I really don't. Like, I can understand a lot of things. Like, for me, I liked Battlefront 2. I really liked Battlefront 2's multiplayer, not the campaign. Campaign was dog shit, but I'm saying the multiplayer, I like the multiplayer a lot. But I understand why it had problems, because oh my God, they had all the goodwill in the world on that announcement trailer, and they fucked it up.
What was Titanfall 1's reception like? Because that could have something to do with it.
It was great. It was mostly good. Here's the problem with Titanfall 1. It didn't have a campaign.
Everyone was like, this game should have a campaign for how much it costs. Right. And Respawn tried to spin it like, it does have a campaign, everybody. It does. It's campaign multiplayer. So you're playing a multiplayer match, and it's one team is one side of the conflict, the other team's the other side, and the story unfolds during the match. And it's like, what that means is there's radio chatter that I'm going to tune out, because it's not telling me anything that I actually need to know, and until it says, okay, go capture the point. Okay.
And as bad as that sounds, it's not like that was a big criticism, or like people had a big problem with it, as much as it was just a pathetic excuse for a campaign. But it wasn't like a thing where people hated on them or criticized, but just memed them. People were turned off by the fact that this game offered such a cool environment and a cool world, but it offered you no way to understand the world. You know what I mean? But people enjoyed the multiplayer big time. The first game had very, very positive reception for its multiplayer. So I'll never understand it. I really won't. All right, another topic we were going to talk about tonight, and we go through this one. Miguel, I'm very much looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy this holiday. I know it's been worked on at least 7 years because I saw the leaked demo back on 2017, 2017. Love the gameplay reveal trailer. Hope have loads of mini games too. So this is a game that's creating a lot of controversy for all the wrong reasons, or I guess all the right reasons, however you want to look at it. And it's all because of the whole J.K. Rowling situation and how everybody hates her guts now. At least game journalists, and they're trying to take a stand. I've seen blue check marks out there basically saying they're not going to play the game. They're not going to review the game unless it has it's such nonsense. So I'm pretty sure Mark's pretty caught up on a lot of this story. Are you not?
Yeah. So
Okay.
It's basically an Ouroboros situation, which if you don't know what that's like the snake who's eating its own tail. So you've got people who went through like their journalism schools and whatever in the era where they would probably have read the Harry Potter books. And they're the kind of people who do the quizzes to say, oh, yeah, it turns out I'm a Hufflepuff because I did the thing, because they haven't read any other fucking book except for Harry Potter. And now they're just trying to do all this mental gymnastics to find a way to be like, okay, I can be excited for this Harry Potter game, even though J.K. Rowling's a horrible turf that I can't be associated with at all. But they've realized now that that's never going to work. So the new thing, the new meta for gaming journalists trying to virtual signal about Harry Potter is you write an article saying, I am not going to be covering Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy because even though I've always been a huge fan of the series, I can't stand idly by and fill the pockets of that terrible, horrible person. And I'm just like, man, you know what would have been not covering it? Don't even write this article. Just be like, okay, look, I'm not okay. I don't give a shit. Harry Potter, whatever. I'm over it. Done. Move on. Like, how many videos have you guys seen me make about Pokemon?
Yeah, but then they wouldn't get the virtue points. They wouldn't get the virtue points to let everyone know that they're taking a stand against transphobia.
The thing is,
that's really going to help
Mark is being very disingenuous right now. I've rejected at least 7 Pokemon videos from him for Geeks and Gamers.
Jeremy, literally everything I know about Pokemon is from the stuffed animals which are behind X-Ray Girl right now. like I don't have anything against it. It's just Pokemon's not really my thing. So I'm not going to cover it. But I also don't make, except for right now, I suppose, literally right now, I don't make a big deal about the fact that I'm not covering Pokemon.
This came out at the end of last year when I was still defending Halo Infinite. The game journalists hate J.K. Rowling so fucking much that a glitch in a Halo game, which sends the oddball flying around, which the Halo community then called the Quidditch glitch. And who came up with Quidditch? J.K. Rowling. Hence, Halo Infinite is transphobic. That's how much they hate this fucking woman. And I'm not a fan of her either because she said a lot of retarded shit.
Oh, I do not like her. I don't like her at all.
But the day she comes out and says only women can have periods and bleed from their pussy, that's the fucking worst thing she's ever said in her life. I think she's doing all right then if that's the case. But that's how much they hate her. A fucking glitch in a game makes the game transphobic because people are calling it Quidditch.
I probably disagree with Stephen King on a lot of political issues, but The Dark Tower is still one of my favorite series.
Well, I don't know why
people feel like they need to agree with the people whose art they consume.
I don't like JK. I don't like her at all. But and I've talked about this. I mentioned this on Friday Night Tights. I think what she's accomplished is truly incredible with Harry Potter and the world she's created, and it's truly incredible. It's amazing. And it should be respected and it should be revered. And you don't have, and again, I think she's a terrible person. I think, and I know that she's now, I guess she's becoming the right wing's favorite person to kind of go, oh, look, JK's standing up. She will stab you. She will stab you in the back the moment she can. So I have nothing for her. But in terms of this game,
logical thing. That's it.
Yeah. But in terms of this game, I think the game itself looks incredible. I really think it looks really, really good. And I think there's a lot of excitement around it. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out because the social justice weirdos are trying. What exactly are they hoping to get? Like, What are they wanting?
They don't want people to
her
play
name
it.
off of it. They don't want her name off of it.
No, what they want is they want J.K.
Wow.
Rowling penniless, dead in a ditch, so they can
Yes.
see, we did it, and now we own the franchise, and we can put all the fanfic, weird stuff that we want to inject into Harry Potter, so we feel better about it. Because the other part of it is they're never going to be able to ever fully feel like it's their thing because somebody they don't agree with is involved in the process. Like, that's the thing. If they found out tomorrow that, I don't know, fucking Donald Trump had donated to fucking Marvel's production, they would go, all the fucking MCU movies have to be shut down. We can't do it. And it's like, but there is such thing as like writing an objectively good story and not inserting your like identity politics into it, you know. But they don't understand any of that. They don't understand the concept of that. They just assume Harry Potter, she makes Harry Potter worse because she's transphobic, and therefore if I like Harry Potter, somehow that makes me transphobic.
It's not even about necessarily her being involved makes Harry Potter transphobic. It's the fact that she's benefiting from the world that she's created.
Yeah.
And so it's not enough to take her name off something because she's still going to get residuals from it. She's still going to make money from it. So you have a couple different factions who are upset about different things. Some of them are like, well, you need to make sure you don't involve J.K. Rowling in this at any point in time, in any way. You know, and then there's another group that says, well, as long as you take her name off it, then the group that says, no, it has to be boycotted. You don't want to give her anything. But this isn't even the only portion of this game that's been controversial. You know, we forget that one of the developers on this game.
What was his name again? I keep forgetting. Troy something. Troy Levitt. That's it.
And he
I kept on
actually,
forgetting his last name.
If you want to hear a little bit from Troy Levitt talking about this, over at Hogue Law, he actually did an interview with Troy Levitt a couple days ago, which is very interesting. But yes, I mean, he was basically ran off because he made some YouTube videos saying things like, oh, The Last Jedi kind of sucks. And
saying things like, hey, maybe Anita Sarkeesian isn't totally on the ball about everything she's talking about.
Didn't he have some things that were pro Gamergate?
Yes.
But did he make a video where he gave Batman an 8? That's what I want.
That's what I would ask him. But
he gave it a 7, which means he's double racist.
Well, and Troy, when you look at those videos, he is the most like kind of calm, cool, and collected, and almost like you want to say he's a rage-filled gamer. Yet he's like the most calm dude in the world. And the fact that he essentially got ran off of this game because of that is nuts. But it has a lot to do with the culmination of the people that are going crazy over J.K. Rowling and the anti-Gamergate people, and all culminates in games journalists.
But this game's getting a lot of like from actual gamers that are looking at the trailer and Harry Potter fans. They're looking at it. That's
going to be
hype.
huge.
They're pretty hype. Like, I've never read a Harry Potter book. I've only seen 2 movies. I don't have any interest in this game because one, I stand against transphobia, so I won't be purchasing it, and I just don't give a shit about Harry Potter. But apart from that, it's getting a very good general reception.
It's the most viewed PlayStation trailer ever.
Yeah, like
it had the biggest state of play as well, I believe.
Even if the game is not good, it is still going to sell a lot of copies for 2 reasons. 1, the visuals look nice. 2, it's Harry Potter. Which means that all the people you're trying to sell to are normies who like Harry Potter. And there's a lot of them that'll be like, oh, this is a Harry Potter game that looks amazing. Look at those graphics. And it's Harry Potter. You can be at Hogwarts. They're already sold. Like,
so Ryan,
a transphobia article on GameSpot is not going to stop millions of people from buying this game.
Ryan, so it's the most viewed trailer ever for PlayStation on their PlayStation channel?
Yeah, so let me see if I can find it.
At least, I think it's at least this year. It's more than God of War, more than Horizon, more than their Spider-Man reveal trailer.
The Spider-Man reveal, everything. Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Didn't it also have one of the most viewed state of plays? Because their state of play was solely dedicated to that game.
Yeah, which is funny because it's a multi-platform game too. So it was weird to be at a state of play at all. But
Yeah.
that actually it makes the Frosk thing really funny, where she said it was an Xbox.
yes.
It's like she's like, yeah, well, that Harry Potter game's exclusive to Xbox.
So at number
Apparently, it's coming to the Switch now. So I mean, it's like she's as far from correct as you could
and
be.
interesting thing about that, apparently, it is not a stream version coming out on Switch either, which means they're just porting it down to actually work on Switch. Which I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So there we
I
go
don't
right
think it's
here.
going to go well, but they managed
I
to
don't
squeeze
either.
Witcher onto the Switch. So
Jeremy, what
Yeah.
platform are you getting it on?
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
There
yeah.
you go.
This is right. So this is most viewed game trailer on YouTube is not what you would expect. This isn't like of this year, right? This is just period. The
That's
two most
insane.
viewed trailers on PlayStation's YouTube page are the PS5 and PS4 reveal trailers.
Yeah.
With 41 million and then 39 million. The next most viewed trailer is a game trailer, specifically the Hogwarts Legacy reveal trailer from 2020. Over
Jeez.
Spider-Man, God of War, Spider-Man 2, another God of War, Last of Us Part 2, over all of this stuff.
I love
Hogwarts
that
more.
freaking
This is more.
Legacy.
Just to put it in perspective, that is more than the 2015 E3 Final Fantasy VII remake trailer.
Well,
that
yeah,
thing broke the
that's
fucking
at
internet.
number 8.
Mhm.
So, like,
Yeah, that's a number
but
8.
but yeah, I think though that like when it comes down to it, I don't think the game looks particularly great from like a just like if you're not a Harry Potter fan. Like I mean I thought the movies were okay. I didn't read the books, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I watched the 8 main movies and was like, yeah, Harry Potter's all right. I'll watch the rest of them. Didn't watch the spin-offs though. And I think it looks kind of like a mod for Bully. Like if anyone's ever played Bully on PS2 with some sort of Arkham Asylum puzzle elements and combat that to me at least looked flat out bad. Like it,
Yes.
the duel they had between the main dude and the Slytherin guy, I was just like, I don't know why anyone thinks that this looks like it's going to be like an amazing, incredible game that's going to like blow the lids off everybody. But it doesn't really have to be in order to be a giant success. It just needs to be a faithful adaptation of that world, and
It's gonna
all
be
the
huge.
all the normies are going to buy it because
Yeah.
they consume all things Harry Potter, and it
Well,
looks
I'm-
more true to the books, the original books, and the movies than the spin-offs do because it's actually at the school, right? Like
Yes.
whereas the new movies
Yeah.
aren't like they're not really revolving around Hogwarts much, are they?
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, like whatever, I don't know, whatever they are.
Ryan?
They all have different titles.
Wow.
Isn't Fantastic Beasts just the first one?
No,
Fantastic
it's the
Beasts.
Fantastic Beat. Well, Blabbering Collectors in the chat. She's probably going to correct you too. But
Well, I don't know.
it's
I
the
flat out said,
Fantastic
I
Beast.
don't
It's
know.
supposed to be 5 fucking movies.
Yeah,
which is
it's not gonna.
nuts.
That's not gonna happen.
Which is kind of crazy. Well, I mean, if they make money, there will be. But yeah, like these are not based at Hogwarts or anything like that. It's based out in the world.
Yeah,
Well,
so I
'cause
think
it's
that
not
people,
revolving around students. So yeah.
there is going to be a huge group of people who are just going to be excited to get back to Hogwarts in like an interactive format that isn't a PS2 game based on the first movie. Because they kind of stop making Harry Potter games after a while, which always sort of surprised me.
Didn't they
because
move to
were-
Lego?
They took a
did
couple.
Lego.
Like, I mean,
they took
yeah,
a couple breaks. I
it
want
seemed
them.
like they
I
just-
want to
they made-
answer. I want them to
Sorry, go ahead.
answer the question: is Hogwarts a segregated school? That's what I want to know. That's the burning questions because this takes place
Motherfucker.
100 years or something before the
Yeah.
movies. So I'm
like,
really
oh,
looking for them to tackle those type of
I mean,
social
I
issues.
guess it is kind of
I just-
segregated because you can't go if you're a Muggle.
I kind of want there to start
Yeah.
being like that's how they ramp up the like before launch. They just showing all the shit from like back then. They're like, "Oh, you're one of those. Well, we go this way."
We don't like your kind here.
The Sorting Hat like sits down on one. They're like, "Oh, Gryffindor." The other one, they're like,
Yeah. This one
You get
is
there.
black. I mean,
Yeah.
Slytherin.
Start the game. It's like, look, everybody. The term mudblood doesn't mean what you think it means. Okay.
Yeah, this is not your. This is not your
and-
mom.
So and I guess shout out to Blabbering Collector, a resident, our Geeks and Gamers resident Harry Potter expert. So you will see her
It's because EA
stuff
sucks.
over on geeksandgamers.com.
I thought this brew was our Harry Potter expert.
No,
He is.
this
No,
group,
no, all,
No.
the
No, he
thing is with,
1,000% this.
Aren't you?
Disprue
Well, having
only
a British,
gets a bunch of likes on stuff he doesn't like. That's how.
but
they
having
do
a British accent means you know about Harry Potter, correct?
It was past my generation. That was the thing. It's like
But you have a British accent.
Your
doesn't
your
matter.
channel blew up because of Wheel of Time. You're
Like-
the book guy. Deal with it, book guy.
Yeah.
This is one of
Go
the
read a
things
book.
before- Like what you've just gone through is like, oh, I wonder if I have a load of American politics in it. It's like it's set in England. Does it have segregation? We never had that kind of stuff over here in the first place in the 1800s.
Yes, we flat out just didn't have black
It's the
people.
same thing with
Hey,
talking. It's like,
the
oh,
only
just-
the only reason this thing's a fucking phenomenon, this Harry Potter thing, ain't because the UK sales, all right? It's because
Well, no,
Americans fucking
exactly.
made it big.
Okay, there's
But
a
it
lot
matters, it's
going
not
on with this.
American.
First of all, the picture is fucking hilarious. That's Jay.
Baby Jay.
That's when Jay was telling a guy there was an alligator back there.
Secondly, Disprue wears glasses and he's British. Of course he does.
It's ingrained.
So
in
I'm
your
surprised
DNA.
you don't have a fucking scar on your head.
I was gonna say he
like-
wears makeup to hide it. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah. I love that. That's how we generalize them. They're like Lord of the Rings. We're like Disprue. What do you think? And he's like, I don't.
I
like Lord of the
am
Rings."
a little disappointed going back to the game though that it is like it's very much a solo type experience. It's like because what got me so excited about Harry Potter and where my imagination went, because I'm from that generation, was like just imagine going to that school with your friends. You know, and so that's really what I want, like that multiplayer experience, everybody leveling up, co-op type gameplay, like that kind of stuff. And I don't really feel like we've reached Harry Potter's potential with that yet. I don't think this game's going to do it either.
The problem would be that everybody would be fucking Slytherin and Gryffindor, and everyone would just beat the fuck out of every Hufflepuff they saw.
Yeah, just beat
You know
the
what I mean?
shit out of them.
I've changed
The
my mind. I'm
Mark-
buying it.
Mark,
game would
Mark
just
and the
inherently-
X-Ray girl, they'd be Ravenclaw. So we got
Well,
the
we
game
saw
would
it
just
with-
be inherently imbalanced because of that.
Well, it's like when you saw like what was it, Pokemon Go, and like you saw everybody was like sticking to certain factions, and like
Oh, yeah,
everybody was
Team
like, oh.
Valor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, look at those
Fuck
fucking
Team
guys down
Mystic.
there.
And Team Instinct are just the retards of the group. So yeah.
No, Jeremy, I didn't say that. Don't.
What did
don't.
you say? What did
I
you
didn't-
say,
I
Mike?
didn't fuck
Mike, what did you
nothing,
say?
man. Don't worry about it.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
I saw him up there in the corner, and I tried to move on. I saw Jeremy. He was like, I was like, God damn it. Look how sad Ryan looks right now.
Me?
Yeah.
It's just his face.
I'm tired. It's my face.
No. God damn it. But like, no, yeah, that'd be kind of great. The other thing I thought was interesting is, you know, to combat the transphobia, apparently you can that's true. We also don't mention a certain journey that certain people go on. But like you can apparently make your character trans in this. But
Yes.
what I'm questioning is it going to be like Cyberpunk? Like, can you like see your characters like junk hanging out, and you can like make it big or small? Or,
Aren't they
you know,
all
That's the
kids?
thing. Don't trans like very basic. Doesn't a trans woman, like if there's someone who's a biological male and they feel like they're trans and they try to be female, don't they try to look as female as fucking possible? Ain't that the goal? So why the fuck do you need a trans character? That makes no fucking sense to me.
because it's
They've got
representation.
magic. Surely that'd solve everything.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? But that doesn't matter. You gotta have
Tychicus
representation.
Groicus.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean,
wanna
it's
make sure-
not switching gender, but in The Witcher, what's her name is like actually super ugly. Like she just used magic to Yennefer. Yeah, Yennefer.
Yeah.
She was like a hunchback and used
Yeah.
magic to make herself pretty. So
Well, that's the thing.
what's
just wanna
stopping
know, like,
people?
Go ahead.
I just think if you're in Harry Potter and you have gender dysphoria, boom, spell done. You got magic.
Yeah, but that's my thing. I want to know how are you going to make
Switch
that?
for a night.
How do you affirm that to that character? Like it doesn't get on my head. I don't let that.
You have
fucking
them
thing
do the
tell-
character.
You don't tell me what
creator,
house I go to.
Go through the
I go where I feel
tutorial,
like it.
and then at the end of the tutorial, they learn genderomus or whatever.
No, or you just like literally. I'm like, does my character get to have a bulge? Do I get to know that there's a huge floppy dick under there?
You're under a
Thinking.
robe. so
Imagine
I
all the
doubt it.
type of spells you could do, man. You could be like, 12 inches grow now type shit, and you're just like, doing.
You're like,
Well, I mean,
wow.
easy there, Lethal. These kids are in high school.
Swish
Yeah.
and flick.
If I grew up around
Not
the
All
time,
right, all right. It's time. Lethal doesn't have a channel for a reason, so let's move on from that discussion. All right. So, Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7. Well, here we go. Right there. All right, there we go.
Jesus fucking Christ.
If you want to talk about something that needs a spell to fix it, yeah.
Hey, Harley.
is that magic gone wrong?
Every time that dog breathes, it sounds like it's an achievement.
What's that? What's it called? Ripley 12 from Alien, lying down. Kill me.
Yeah. Hey, at first I thought it was like making like noises, like it was growling or like being playful. Then I realized it's just how it sounds when it tries to breathe.
Yeah.
Just trying to survive.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Every breath is torture.
Hey, look, she's got a flat face. Okay, her nose is like she's like
Yeah, but-
Skeletor.
You're friends with it though, Ryan.
Yeah. Ryan wishes.
That looks the opposite of me. Its tongue is out and its eyes are fucking wide open.
Josiah just said, "Wow, I show up and there's a rat."
There was another one. Where was it?
Delightful doggy though.
Hang on. It wasn't.
Oh God.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
God.
Can
The
we-
dog looks like its owner.
My nerdy home. Can you take the eyes off the dog and put them on Ryan?
That's not
we
gonna
get
look
that?
right.
It doesn't fucking matter.
You
what
already
it
don't
looks
look
like.
right, Ryan.
It's not gonna look right. It's gonna look stupid.
As opposed to that looking good.
But at least that's like fucking clever. If you just like, if you take my eyes, it's gonna look like an Apollo meme. Like that's what that's the level that will get to if you take the eyes off that dog.
I think you just end up
Oh,
looking like the
man.
guitarist from Limp Bizkit.
No one can hear you, Lethal.
Oh, I was talking about how you have like Dave Filoni shirtless in the background for some
Yeah,
reason, with like tongues
exactly.
hanging out and shit.
It's going full Apollo.
They want the eyes swapped. So let's see. What's Josiah doing here? Come on, chat. Have more respect for Ryan than that. He's clearly a hairless cat. What the fuck are you doing here?
Besides, like every time I see the picture with the, with like the, if it's Elvish, the Lord of the Rings text behind it, all I can think of is he looks like a fucking imam, like in front of some sort of like flag, like Arabic flag.
I support the recent thing.
The fact that there's almost 700 people here, you guys clearly want to see more Gaming with Geeks. I'm impressed. I did not think we'd have this many people watching. And I'm not going to front, like, a lot of super chats help those decisions. So you guys have clearly shown what you want. So, I mean, it's been a hell of a stream. So, all right, Gran Turismo 7. Mark the Cyborg. Talk to us. What's going on with Gran Turismo?
If you guys remember at the Xbox One announcement debacle where they said that you had to be online to play even your single player games, and Sony trolled them by coming out with the haymaker punch to say you do not have to be online to play PlayStation games. Then they had the little video of Adam Boy saying, "Here's how you share a game on PlayStation," and he just hands it to Shuhei Yoshida, like, "Here you go, thanks." So now, Gran Turismo 7, which is their flagship racing series, that the last time there was a full-blown Gran Turismo release, it was on PlayStation 3, because Gran Turismo Sport was like the online sort of spin-off. Was PS3. And they finally released Gran Turismo 7. Working differently, and now you need to be online to play the game even single player. In order to get some of the more high-end cars, you're looking at like 200 hours of grinding or spending about $200 of real money in order to just buy them outright. and they had a delightful statement where they were just like, yeah, well, we've priced things that way because we want these premium cars to be something that hardly anyone has. We want them to be like in the real world, you don't see everyone with apparently the stream's glitching.
Hang tight.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. The stream's glitching though.
Okay.
Yeah, we're losing. I'm getting an error message. So
the Canadian,
I saw that pop up in the back end. Canadian internet.
That's working.
Yeah, it's Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know. It's working for me.
Canada's not real. So.
I don't know. Trying to see. I'm watching it. Let me switch over to my D-Day Cobra account. So it's working for me. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's working for me too. I can see myself wave.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that wasn't a Canadian internet thing because apparently I was working fine for these guys. It was the whole stream that was weird. But anyways, so they've cranked it up so that the cars are extremely expensive to buy, or at least the nicer ones. So if you want, like, I don't know if Lamborghinis and Ferraris are in there because I haven't played it, but if you want really high-end Porsches and stuff, you've got to either pay a lot of money in the time saver microtransactions or spend a lot of time winning races and grinding it out until you can actually just buy the cars. Apparently things were moving a lot faster for the people reviewing the game and giving it 8s and 9s out of 10s. And now they flipped on all the microtransactions and made it so that people can't even play the game if they're not connected to the internet, and the servers were down for 30 hours, like 3 days after the game came out.
So you couldn't even play it. You couldn't even hop on and play it.
Couldn't even do the license tests, which are difficult if you've ever played a Gran Turismo game.
And they put good cars behind microtransactions or a crazy.
Not necessarily the good ones, just the really expensive cars, like the ones that would be expensive in real life. They've said it's very immersive if they're actually.
Is this another
game.
sense of pride and accomplishment, Battlefront 2 type thing?
Yeah, well,
maybe I don't know.
It's supposed to be like real life. Everybody drives a Miata or like a fucking Ford Taurus, and everybody, like the rich people, get to drive the nice cars. That's what it's supposed to be like, you know.
You'd think they'd learn from Forza 5. That came out, was massively popular, and that just throws stuff at you constantly. You lose track of what you've got because every
Forza
5
Horizon
seconds you've
5,
got given another car. Yeah.
And, I hang on. So we're having more issues again. Yeah,
well, I mean, if it's not on our end, what can we do? Like,
yeah, well, nothing. I mean, it's not. I'm not getting any error messages on the back end this time. So
mine still looks fine. I just
I keep on getting blamed. Can someone please tell me it's not?
You were the one talking when it happened.
Oh man, yeah, I don't.
It cleared up afterwards.
Let's just fucking keep going.
All right, someone else explain the Gran Turismo stuff. Then
let's just keep going because, well, at the end of the day, we'll keep going because we'll still have the recorded part of it, and I can download it and we can clip that out. So anyway, we're back on it. In terms of all of that, so essentially with all of these problems, they have released an apology, and this is on the PlayStation blog. So right here is the apology, and they're basically thank you for your continued feedback. Yada, yada, yada. We know that this is not the Gran Turismo experience you expect, and we will be making a goodwill gesture in the form of a non-paid credit pack of 1 million CR available to those players who may have been affected. You will see this hit your account shortly. Make sure you log into the game before April 25th to claim credits. The patch update previously deployed was intended to rectify an issue with inconsistent reward payouts within a part of the World Circuit events, but to reestablish the intended equilibrium and provide more accurate rewards based on time investment and completion. It was necessary to recalculate the reward system as a whole. And then they go into all of these things that they're going to, to improve the player experience. Updates that will come out will go into effect beginning in April. So they're at least trying. So you got to give them credit for that. Let me blow that up if I can.
All these apologies, they all start with the same sentence. Thank you for your feedback. We are listening.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it's like on one hand, we're constantly told that we're toxic and we should not be complaining. And if you don't
Yes.
like it, don't buy it. And then on the other hand, once the complaints get to a level that they have to address it, suddenly it's thank you so much. We appreciate your
Right.
feedback. You're important to us. Yada yada yada.
It's like being
and
on hold to a phone provider or whatever. Your call
Yeah.
is important to us.
And so I kind of like, on one hand, part of me wants to say, hey, okay, cool. I appreciate you apologizing. Now again, I haven't played. I loved Gran Turismo games back in the day. I haven't played. I wasn't planning on playing this one, and then I heard about the stuff anyway. I mean, I do love these games, but there's so many other games on my radar. But the point is part of me wants to give them, an attaboy for like, hey, thank you for apologizing. But it's like, you know what? You're only fucking apologizing because the criticism was so bad. It's not like you fucking care. It's not like you care. You don't give a shit. None of these companies give a shit. They're only going to respond when the noise gets to be enough. That's ultimately what it comes down to. When the noise gets to be too much, suddenly they care about us. Suddenly your voice matters, yada, yada, yada. Fuck you. That's really what I think about this.
It's starting to affect their sale of microtransactions, hence less money. So they have to address it because that's the bottom line.
And it's not like this is a minor alteration. They're doubling the rewards. So it was nowhere near. And the attitude that I get is, well, we thought we could try and slip it past you, and now we've realized we couldn't, so we're going to set it to a decent level. And it's just, I don't think you should reward people when they've tried to pull one over on you and then got caught for it. It's like this. If it was like, well, it was maybe 10% under, and we'll give you a little bit boost. Fair enough. But when it's this far off, they're just trying to pull a fast one. And no, fixing something where you were deliberately trying to take advantage of people is not something I reward in the first place.
Well, that's exactly it. Like if it's a small correction, or like, hey, we noticed that people are having frustrations with this, that's a thing. But double is huge. Then also to drop like 1 million credits. So here's a crap ton of money that you probably wouldn't have been able to earn in this game very easily. Like, obviously they're not that worried about the economy of the game to be able to throw that at people and be like, here's our apology for it, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
If your game's fun, people will want to play it anyway. If you're having to reduce it to the fact that, well, we need to give you this one carrot on the end of a stick just to make you drive because you won't actually enjoy the racing on its own, then I think you've probably got a bad game in the first place. You should be confident enough that people will continue to play your game even after they've unlocked all the cars because they want to use the cars. And if you're like, well, no, the moment people have unlocked everything, people will stop playing, it just shows a lack of confidence in what you've made.
I agree. And so, I mean, I guess, we're going to see how this all plays out, but I don't think that they should get credit for, addressing this. I think that they're forced into addressing this and they're only apologizing because they couldn't continue to get away with it. That's how I view it. At the end of the day,
got like the lowest user score on Metacritic of any PlayStation game ever of all time. Like that's how bad it was. It was sub 2. It's like 1.7, 1.8 or something like that. So that's how bad this backlash was.
Yeah. When it comes to entertainment, when it comes to video games, when it comes to movies, when it comes to television, we don't care about what the people that work there think. We don't care who they voted for. We don't care who they fuck. We don't care what their opinion on what's going on overseas is. We don't care about any of that shit. All we care about is give us a good product for our money. End of discussion. That's what gamers care about. That's what fans care about. That's what the customers care about. That's what they care about. That's it. That's all that matters. All this other stuff is meaningless and it's irrelevant. No one cares what you think on Twitter. No one cares who you voted for. No one cares what your latest opinion is on the latest bill that you've been trained and been, programmed to think that you're supposed to give your opinions on. Nobody cares. And that's what this comes down to. So you releasing a broken game and then trying to hijack the fans, and then essentially because the backlash was so bad, then you're going to sit there and go, oh, hey, thank you guys. We appreciate your feedback. The industry has already told all of us that they don't care about our feedback until they have to care about our feedback. That's what we've been told over and over and over again. And you don't care until you have to care. It's just like the G4 thing. We're all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. No, the fuck we're not. And we never were, and we're never going to be. You are supposed to provide us a product, and we are going to give you our money if your product is good enough. We ain't in shit together. No, fuck you. And that goes from Nintendo to Sony to Microsoft. Your job is to give me what I want for my money. We're not in shit together. I'm not on your team, and we're not in anything together. And ultimately, when you start hearing that type of talk, you know that they fucked up so bad that now they're going in the complete opposite direction of the arrogant way that they've been treating us the whole time.
Is there any talk of them addressing the whole online only thing? Because the concept of being online only to play a Gran Turismo game is dumbstruck me. Like, wow.
I don't know. Unless it's an MMO, you shouldn't have online only, period. Like, it's stupid. Yeah.
How would that
The
even work
original
for a
Gran
racing game?
Turismo was online only. It's a PlayStation 1 game. No, it wasn't.
I don't know.
It was actually online never.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole thing's so frustrating. But again, you know, I guess we'll see how it all plays out. I thank you guys for returning. We're back up to almost our original viewers. I see X-Ray Girl in the chat. Hello, X-Ray Girl. I can't do it like
it's nice to see her in the chat instead of fucking hear her screaming in the background at Elden Ring.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like, really? Oh, did you see the dog in the background, Ryan? So
yeah,
cute.
I saw him fucking limping around sideways.
Girl, Ryan.
He even fucking runs weird.
Oh man.
I love how
runs
I
like
love how
it walks like
Hold on, I think the dogs are fighting.
he fucking walks like all of his organs are too big to fit in his body.
Did it again. It's a girl dog, right?
Oh, fucking
Where are the organs?
It's just a good job Mark was on camera during all the screaming, because that way he's got a nice alibi.
Yeah. What are you talking? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shit, that's fucking funny.
All right, so we're gonna read through some super chats. If anybody needs to bounce, that's fine. Ryan, if there's any Streamlabs, if you need to leave, just give me those Streamlabs right now. Just copy paste them, or either read them right now and you can bounce.
Input latency for 3. Hail peeps, Jeremy sucks. If you're wondering why people speedrun games, it's not because they don't like the game, don't appreciate it. It's quite the opposite. I recommend checking out Bysmith. He's got a bunch of stuff explaining speedrunning. God bless peeps. What was that? Is she drunk?
Ask her, Ryan's curious if
Maybe.
he's drunk. Ask her.
I have both puppies now, though.
Oh boy, there we
They
go.
were fighting because one was stealing the oxygen from the other.
Were you holding up like your stump to like get the dog up?
No, it was a doggy bed.
Oh.
So
Do you think he was licking it with his leg?
The dog fight that you heard happening behind my couch was because JoJo was there lying in a doggy bed, just, you know, minding her own business. And Harley was like, okay, I'm going to lie down here now. And Harley often will just, I don't know if you can really see, but as you can maybe see, Harley will just sit right on top of JoJo. She really doesn't give a shit what JoJo's doing. And JoJo gets angry. That's her growling.
Hokies is happy. So,
yeah.
Nope, they're mad.
Yeah, they're mad dogs.
Mark, bringing all the hearts to the chat. Look at all the hearts. So, everybody's like, Ryan's so like so happy right now. So.
She says she's not drunk.
There you go. I saw her holding a glass of wine, so I was curious.
All right, is that it for the Streamlabs side, Ryan?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Ryan, do you need to bounce?
Yeah, I'll probably take off. I did see there was one super chat directed me towards or by Trucker Rob. Well, one was like, "What's up, Fed Outpost?" Somebody said that, so hi. And then also he said, "What's your opinion on Hungry Howie's because Jeremy let you down?" Bro. Hungry Howie's is fine. I mean, it's better than like Little Caesars. But
I do not appreciate the tone you're using for Hungry Howie's.
Yeah,
like, Hungry Howie's is pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Hungry Howie's is pretty fucking good.
It's pretty fucking good.
The garlic butter crust that they have.
Yeah,
like I don't appreciate the tone you're using.
I'm fucking hungry.
I would rank it below like Domino's and Papa John's and stuff like that.
Fuck out of here. Papa John's is racist
above
pizza. That's why you like it.
Well, I mean, I do. I will say, Papa John's tasted way better back when they were actually dropping N-bombs. So if that's
the secret ingredient is racism.
If that's what it takes to get them back to their standards, I'm all for it. But yeah, I think it's better than Little Caesars, but I wouldn't say it's as good as like Papa John's and Domino's. It's fine. It's pizza. I like it, but it's not my first choice to go to.
I accept your take. I just don't think your tone was a little disrespectful because Hungry Howie's deserves a little more respect. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So does Harley.
On it.
That's all I'm saying.
So Jeremy completely agrees with everything I said. He doesn't like the way I said it.
I just think that Hungry Howie's deserves a little more respect because you just were kind of like, Hungry Howie's
because I felt like he was gonna.
Good.
I felt like the super chatter wasn't necessarily gonna like my opinion on it. So I was like,
Jeremy has redeemed himself with Hungry Howie's, and that's mostly the alcohol talking. Thank you, Siobhan. No Hungry Howie's disrespect in here.
What the fuck?
I imagine for like fucking trailer park people, they think Hungry Howie's is like the coolest thing ever.
We don't have it in Canada either, but based on the things they're comparing it to, I would say it's probably pizza.
We have Hungry Jacks here.
No, it is pizza. And like I said, I imagine that if you're living in a trailer park and you're like your stepdad brought home Hungry Howie's pizza, it was probably like, oh my God, this is the best day of the month. This is fucking amazing. I imagine, like, I see why a lot of people in Florida have like love for it. But it's fine. It's fine.
Leave my fucking stepdad out of this.
Just saying.
If I had one.
Jeremy just realizes how spot on that fucking analogy is.
That's really good. That guy's been a many a days where a dad brought home some fucking Hungry Howie's. I was like, life sucks, but now it's great, at least for this moment.
That's right. As Jeremy's trying to figure out how to get his Jordans back from the black people who beat him up and stole them at school, he's like, at least I've got my Hungry Howie's.
See, I knew that was a story, and I tried to bring that up on Tuesday night's main event. And Jeremy was like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
this is what you're simping over?
We can't tell.
I don't even know.
We can't really tell what that looks like.
Looks like 2 weeks
I
old.
don't know what that is either.
That looks like a zombie pizza.
Yeah, fucking have a look at that.
It looks like
No.
Ryan's
Yeah,
floor.
that's about 2 weeks old.
Did somebody let it mold and
doesn't
then take a
look-
picture?
Yeah.
Jojo.
Jesus Christ.
he's having
Dog ASMR.
right now.
Right. Jesus.
Well, like Harley's full on sitting on her at this point.
Okay, let's okay, since I'm not going to allow any disrespect towards Hungry Howie's. So let's I'll give you guys some. All right, this is Hungry fucking Howie's right here, okay? Since Lethal wants to pull like a fucking
First
terrible
Are we doing free promotion right now?
There we go. Right there. Okay. Hungry Howie's is badass. Okay.
So this is what it looks like, and mine's what it arrives.
No. That's Hungry Howie's. Hungry Howie's is really fucking good. Okay. They've got the cookie. Okay. They've
It's
got
making the dog sick.
This is the Hungry Howie's is amazing, and they have all of these different flavors of crust that you can get. It's really good. Okay.
Is that chocolate chip on a pizza?
Yeah.
It's just a big
cookie cut like a pizza.
Yeah.
Fucking Gronk. The fuck?
You call it Gronk?
I'm looking at Disbrew and like Lethal, and they're like, "What is this food that you guys?"
It just looks very generic. That's the thing.
It
It looks like it costs $6.99.
Yeah,
Do you know what fascinates me?
I think it's a step above like Little Caesars and stuff like that, but I would put the other like chain pizza places.
Little Caesars Crazy Bread is pretty damn good though. I like Little Caesars Crazy Bread.
The 4-pack of soft drink. That's fucking blown my mind. Wow.
They're probably those tiny bottles.
That means no, they're 20-ounce bottles, but it means you're paying almost $2. You're paying $1.75 for a 20-ounce soda.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sugar.
You've never been to America before.
That is true.
When you come to America, you'd be like, dude, I
get fucking diabetes.
That's why I do the zero sugar.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't get diabetes.
Yeah, we die different instead. You die different ways. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna
to have like for any actual like negative effects of like, aspartame on the body, you need to drink so much shit. You would literally be having to drink like a 30-pack of Diet Coke a day for it to have any noticeable effects.
To be fair,
I never
know
even
people
thought
who
of using that to carry soft drink. To me, when I see that, it's alcohol. That's the only thing you can put in there.
It's for a family thing. So if you're getting drinks for the family, you can carry it out without having to fucking like hold it in your hands like a retard.
we get like a cardboard fucking like little thing like that. It'll have like the circles cut into it.
I thought he was pulling. Oh, yeah. I couldn't
put them on that, and you walk around. You go, "There you go, you fucking bastards. Here's your drink." What I see that the only thing I've ever seen that be used to carry alcohol.
See, I feel like they don't actually do that. I feel like they just throw your drinks at you in Australia. You just order
if you don't catch it too fucking bad.
You don't catch it. Fuck out of here.
Oh, hey, I found the picture. Hold on, I've been looking, like scrolling through Hungry Howie's. This is how far I had to scroll to find this. Like it's way down fucking
bullshit. Mine was first.
Be careful with these pictures.
I know. I already looked through them, but this looks like kind of like an Uber Eats driver. It's weird. But
that looks like Mundane Matt if he was a Fed.
Yeah, but here's this one, TripAdvisor.
What the fuck is that? What is that?
It's got pineapple on it, so you know something went wrong.
Oh yeah, it looks like a pizza Gary would eat. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, X-ray girl, gross.
That's munted.
No, that's not good. That's not good at all.
No,
Wait a minute. Are you team pineapple, Mark?
No, God, no. I'm Italian. I would be.
So your wife is team
I'm surprised you married her.
Yeah.
Well, you should be divorcing her then. What are you doing?
Well, she's Asian, and Asians are basically Hawaiians, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how Mark wanted to disagree, and he just like,
Like, well, I mean, culture differences. I was gonna say, okay, look, there are things X-Ray Girl has that outweigh her pineapple pizza fetish, we'll call it.
What are those things?
She can take a picture with no hands.
I mean, yeah. Did you guys not hear me say? I did. But anyway.
She can take pictures with her cleavage. Like it wasn't timed. She just took the picture that way. That's how he knew. He's like, she's the one.
Yeah.
But with that being said, answering that pizza question take way longer than I thought. I'm gonna get out of here. So this is fun though.
Look at this. Look at this.
Say goodbye to Harley.
Well, this is what Mark right there. And then everybody.
Did you ratio her?
So.
Almost. Go get a couple more likes on that.
And then she responded. And then she responded. All right, here, I'll retweet it. I'll retweet him, and then he'll get retweeted, and then let's get the likes up. We want to ratio Mark on X-Ray Girl's tweet. Bring back the power. The man runs the relationship.
I was being intentionally ironic too, because it was 10:30 in the morning and she was at work. So like I knew she wasn't going to come to bed. I just thought that would be a funny thing to say. I didn't think that would blow up like it did.
Of course it did. It's Twitter.
It's got 100 likes, and Mark's like, "Oh, it blew up, guys."
Well, okay, for like a C-tier dad joke on my wife's timeline, 120 likes is blowing up. That should have gotten
I'd say 100 likes. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty big.
You're upsetting the puppy.
So, yeah, Ryan. 100 likes for somebody that said come to bed. That's a lot of likes for that. Like it's not like you're
describe it as blowing up.
Again, I'm just saying it's not like you're counting black people in the Batman movie. That's gonna blow up even bigger. We understand that you've got 1 million views on Twitter for being a racist. Okay.
Mark had a tweet that was like something about Elden Ring, like the developers of Elden Ring coming out, and like it was a big joke. It's a big screenshot that got like thousands and thousands of fucking likes.
That's true. That blew up from Mark. That legitimately blew up, but
he's had real bangers, right? That one was
Mark broke Twitter, so
I find that the difficality. Hey, Jojo, what up? The difficulty mode. Just got
show Ryan. Let Ryan.
He's suffocating the dog.
Hey! But anyways, I find that easy mode debate things that are bait tend to do really well, because if you say Elden Ring has decided to add an easy mode, then it's a big long article, and at the end it's like, and Miyazaki says that when you turn on the easy mode, a message comes up of Hidetaka Miyazaki saying "fuck you, get good, you casual." And like, it's obviously a joke because clearly he didn't say that. But what's hilarious is on those tweets, you'll see all these people arguing like on both ends of the retard spectrum, where there'll be people like they should never add an easy mode. This is it. They've sold out. Fuck From Software. They're the worst.
Because they need to read the whole thing.
Exactly. And other people like, finally, now this is going to be the first From Software game I actually play. About time they realize that no one gives a shit if there's an easy mode. And I'm just like, you guys got to read the whole thing. Like, gotta read the whole meme. It's like, it's not even that long. But,
all right. Ryan's got to go. Get the hell out of here, Ryan. We're going to read super chats.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Yep. Have a good one, man. All right. So let me read some of these super chats. This has been a fantastic stream, and I really do appreciate all the support, guys. So we got Trucker Rob was correcting his $50 super chat. Where says from Tuesday. God dang it, got you. Christian says Hogwarts Legacy's looking great. Live RPG or love RPG games. Yeah, I think it looks really good. Trucker Rob says hello. Fed K Outpost. Retro Meister, Perfect Dark reboot just had a mass exodus.
Oh, yeah,
of
we didn't talk about
leaving the development early, possibly due to a toxic workplace and the game itself being woke.
I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is they had half a game idea and they keep on adding. Like, basically, there were two guys from Crystal Dynamics who left Crystal Dynamics to start the initiative, which was very famously Microsoft's quadruple A studio, which everyone always made fun of. I think it just means they're going to make an ultra expensive game. And apparently they kept on subbing in people from the initiative team with members of Crystal Dynamics, and eventually just said, okay, now Crystal Dynamics is leading development of the new Perfect Dark game. And people are like, what the hell is going on? And now because of that kind of PR thing where it's like, okay, everyone just thinks the initiative's a joke and that Crystal Dynamics is the one making this game now, a bunch of the initiative employees are like leaving en masse. So if you were looking forward to the new Perfect Dark, I would set your clocks for about 2027, maybe 2028, because that game's going to be pretty far off now.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then Retro Meister also said, and GoldenEye N64 remake may be getting released on Xbox for its 25th anniversary after a leak of achievements was listed on True Achievements in January. We'll have to check that out and see.
Licensing is still going to be tricky for that one because part of it's owned by MGM. Pierce Brosnan's likeness is owned by his management company, and Nintendo owns some of the code, but Rare owns the game. So they did a remake for Xbox 360, not PS3, not that one. They did Rare did an actual remake of the GoldenEye 007, the N64 game, like a remaster of it. But they couldn't get the rights sorted out. Although it is, you can find that code online.
Didn't the PS3 one they used Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig, yeah. That was the one that was basically just the Call of Duty DLC that had some GoldenEye looking levels and Daniel Craig's face where Pierce Brosnan should be.
We got Trucker Rob with a hot dog emoji, and then it says "Wait, wrong place." We got Mikey Gussler for 20. A game announced too soon can destroy some of the hype. People expect something very good if it's been several years. Cyberpunk was announced in 2012, released in 2020, but didn't actually work on until after Witcher 3. That's the classic example of it. I mean, I just think when you lose that momentum, it doesn't matter how good a game is. You lose it in the beginning. It's tough
Duke
to get
Nukem
back.
forever. Yeah.
So Trucker Up says, I'll drunk super chats some more. Say I won't. You won't, Trucker Rob.
That's my favorite part. You think I won't spend more money? Fuck you.
I think he already left, but he did say, I'll drunk super chat some more. Say I won't. You won't, Trucker Rob. I dare you to send another $100. Don't. Nobody. Love this stream. I hope y'all can do more often soon. I feel your pain on Wheel of Time Disbrew. I'm bummed it went under the radar for criticism besides you and Shad's crew. Thanks for the coverage. Disbrew doing a good job.
That was incredible. It was amazing because there were a load of big channels that covered it, and they all loved it. Apparently, they all really loved the books, but they also loved them being destroyed, which I think is very strange, especially considering all of them had access to Amazon.
The Wheel of Time television show is nothing like the books, and that's a good thing.
I'm just so proud of the Lord of the Rings community. like the Lord of the Rings fans,
Yeah,
because there's so many fandoms that just seem. I honestly think they're just scared.
Star Wars.
Like Halo. Like I'm seeing a lot of Halo people that I'm like, I know you dislike this game more than you're letting on, but they try to seem like they're just stepping around eggshells, and they just don't want to like make.
Yeah, that's
people
my favorite part of like the
That's
Halo, the Lord of the Rings community. They're like, no, get fucked, and they're like, what?
This is early. This is early
Adam-
as well.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. The Wheel of Time, people gave them the benefit of the doubt. Then the show came out, and then people realized what it was 3 episodes in. By that point, it's too late. It's on TV. They've all got all their numbers for the premiere that everyone watched, and then they spin it that way. This is different because they released a teaser trailer, and it was instant. And that's now what people will know going into the series, and I think it'll have a bigger impact because of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's up, Adam? Yes, this is our gaming channel, Gaming with Geeks. We've got a ton of channels, so this is one we very much love and enjoy, and we're working on it and trying to build it up. Had a great crowd today. I think this is again, I think we got right at 700 people. That's I was not expecting that on this channel, but you guys have been killing it. One game, and there's more super chats to get to. One game I've went back to recently. It's a game I know Mark has been preaching about this game, and that is Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm kidding.
Preaching about how I have
no. But I have gone back to Vanguard, and the multiplayer is so fucking good on Vanguard. I'm sorry. I know that's going to get me a lot of hate. I know people.
But it's
are gonna
true.
It's good. It's just good. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the mechanics. Now they've got this arms mode.
That's limited time.
Is it limited? God, it's so fucking good. It's so fun. We got to play it. So
I just bought it yesterday because Jeremy asked me like 50 times, do you play Vanguard? And so
funny is
I do now.
Because Krigler bought it to play with us. We played it like 1 or 2 times and we stopped playing it. But I've gone back to it. So I like it. I like it.
We also played, me, Disparu, and Lethal earlier this week, played Rebirth, and we actually kind of dug the changes that they did in Rebirth. It was nice.
Except the ground loot. Yeah.
Except for the ground loot.
Yeah,
the ground loot was terrible. Yeah, like every time like Disparu would drop, he's like, a fucking sniper rifle. Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, if you find anybody that found an automatic weapon was like king. Yeah, but other than that, I like the changes they did to the map. It's I don't know, it just changed the way Rebirth plays, but not enough to change the fundamental gameplay of it, which was cool. So.
Well, I mean, look, it kind of one of the reasons I kind of went back to it was because, well, first of all, Titanfall 2 is dead. Then you got Halo is pretty much unplayable at this point. I'm not going to play fucking Fortnite, and so I was like,
building.
No building mode.
Yeah, but aren't they gonna? They're gonna move away from that, aren't they?
Well, there's actually talk of it making its own separate thing permanently.
Yeah, because there's been so many people that have been playing no building mode and like loving it that they're talking about. Yeah.
It is pretty fun, man, because you play against all these like Fortnite children that their first reaction is just to start building an Eiffel Tower, and then you get
losers that
like
can't
me
do it. You can see them hesitate. You can see the fear when they can't build a tower.
They get us toxic Warzone players, and we just run in. We're like, rush them, and they just don't know what to fucking do, man. Because they're children. You just
it's the most amazing thing ever. And watching them panic and run behind trees and shit. Yeah.
On that note, we got Shan Dog says, proud to be an Aussie when Lethal burns Halo series. There you go.
Mate, I'm just getting started. That's the end of Halo 1. That's how Halo 1 ends. We're just getting started.
Trucker Rob says, I just remembered some comps. Wondered if it was you guys. Trucker Rob's just spamming stuff, and I love it. Sean, let's see. Landrigan says is a new member, becomes an epic gamer. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. There's Trucker Rob's $100 super chat, and then he sends another one. Check out Project Winter. Thanks. I did look into Project Winter, so because I know you had referenced that game on Tuesday night's main event, so I did look into it. Trucker Rob, I'll follow up with you on that. Trucker Rob just got that one. Does Ryan like Hungry Howies? I need to know. Jeremy broke my heart. The squid is my only hope. Calman plays Mo Geeks and Gamers. So what's up, Calman plays? Trucker Rob says, I know I said happy birthday, Mark, as a me bit. Now I understand something gay chat and stuff.
Is it about wishing me a happy birthday?
I don't know what he's even
Okay,
saying.
it kinda became
Trucker
a
Up
meme
says
that-
meme. Okay, yeah, he says now he followed up
Yeah.
with meme. Continue to ignore me is what he said.
It was a meme because my birthday was on a Sunday that Az and Quarter Black were playing not Dead by Daylight, Dying Light 2 with X-Ray Girl. And X-Ray Girl said, yeah, no, like after this, we're going to do Mark's birthday stream. So if you guys want to come to Mark's channel and I'm going to still stream over here, we're going to play Elden Ring. And all these people started super chatting, donation bits to super chat X-Ray Girl to wish me happy birthday. But also tons of people started super chatting Az and Garrett saying happy birthday, Mark the Cyborg. So my birthday ended up making Az and Garrett a whole bunch of money. And so I changed it to happy Mark the Cyborg's birthday. It's
I made you a fucking mod, Mike. Shut the fuck up.
How come you make Mike a mod, but you haven't made me one?
Because you didn't call him out on a stream.
That's
you got to put him
true.
on the spot.
And for the record, just to be clear, like moving forward, like if you want to send any super chats to wish Mark a happy birthday for next year, you
send them
they're
on my
welcome here.
channel, please. Also, I just shared a Fortnite meme.
There we go.
Epic removing building from Fortnite. Sweaty 9-year-olds. Who the hell are you? Players who can aim. Death.
That's me. That's me. I love it. These 12-year-olds, they're jumping on to have fun. Then along comes Lethal Lightning, Toxic Warzone player.
I just love that it's a meme that's made with Apex Legends characters too, which is a different battle royale.
Yeah,
I don't know, I think
but
it's
you
funny.
can watch you can watch them scramble. It's like stupid asshole.
It is good. because they
Stupid
just
ass
don't know
little
what to
kid.
do.
Watch you get behind that tree. It's not gonna save you. Fucking losers.
Fucking Mom's credit card can't save you now.
Let's see here. Jeremy redeemed himself to the Hungry Howie's got that one. Let me see. Holy shit. Trucker Rob says Pro Gamer Gate, frick you out of context. I'm giving you money. Also Yellow Flash soon, so catch you later. Sober people. Mike has a nice afro. Mike Hill, technically it's not a Harry Potter game, it just takes place at Hogwarts. Yeah, I mean technically, but still it's Harry Potter, so that's
like,
what's gonna be the selling
Nobody's
point.
calling it the Wizarding World. Like that's fucking stupid.
Trucker Rob says SOS. Trucker Rob, Bully was great. Jeremy knows. Tipsy Rhino. Okay, it has to be said. As bad as Johnny and Mike's backgrounds are, what with the sheet, Lethal? Are you sharing room with your grandma? What's with the sheet? What's with the sheet?
Oh, this is a fucking curtain, you gronk.
Yeah, that's like his window.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
daytime
hell.
in Australia.
Yeah.
You
And by the way, that's like I put a lot of money into that background, but my wall is way too far back there that it looks tiny.
And by the
No one
way,
can make out what
I
it
put a
is.
lot of work into this
Density.
background.
Density is the key.
How fucking dare you?
You should have seen his one before.
And
Yeah,
I've spent
with the
$3,000 on computers in the last month, so I will upgrade it at a certain.
Well,
Welcome
if you
to the
listen
club.
to me, Johnny,
Welcome to the club.
I'm fucking pissed that he thought this was a sheet.
yeah, how dare you?
Oh,
Look at that.
man.
I was just
This
disappointed
color?
that Grandma wasn't actually back there. It was just
I've
supposed
had
to
this
be
for
like
like
an old
15
lady, like,
years.
waving.
Look at this. It's here
I like
for
the
you.
I like the idea that he thought you sectioned off your room with a curtain and then decided to almost sit in the curtain.
Why do you lean? I don't know. I always lean. I always sit here like fucking like an anime villain, just leaning.
You grunk. You grunk.
You
Dog.
drunk? Your
Fucking
dog?
hell.
I've always been interested in like that. Like, are you upstairs? Are you on the first level? Can people hear you if they walk by? Or like, I'm just so
there's-
fascinated by it.
There's the bottom floor, right? And then there's the first floor, which is where I'm on. So I've got a little balcony. And there's the second and third. There's 5 apartments on my level. I live by myself. There's good-looking girl that lives there, good-looking girl that lives there. And we can't really hear each other. But one of them did hear me fucking yell at the Halo show last night on stream. But she's cool. She doesn't give a shit. So if someone walked past and I'm going, Jeremy, you fucking gronk, they might hear that.
That's how he gets doxxed. It just is that through the door.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot
And
about
if I
this
leave,
Jeremy
if I
character,
open
but I do
my,
know he's a grunk.
If I open the doors to the balcony, anyone else that's sitting outside might hear me.
Yeah.
Nice.
But people here are pretty cool. I mean, this dude that lives up there, he leaves his door open, and I can tell when he's playing games because he uses some language.
Cowman, Cowman. Speaking of putting Jeremy on the spot, where's my 1v1 at? Let's go, my man. Me and you, Halo or Vanguard. I'm down for whatever. My goal is to take you down, good sir.
Oh man, you're not Mazza. No.
Well,
stop.
I would definitely, it would be Vanguard over Halo. Because I'm actually good at Vanguard. So
he's just hoping that his Australian internet will make
we
the
need
desync work better.
maybe we'll do something for geeksandgamers.com premium, or maybe we'll run some private lobbies on Vanguard. Me and Lethal. You down Lethal? We'll set something up for the premium members, private lobbies.
You're just gonna ignore the fact that I'm a better Vanguard player than even you, Jeremy.
I just don't like you. Like, that's
I'm just
really
letting
what
you
it
know.
comes
I mean,
down
because
to.
you know it's
and
true.
it's not because you're black. It's just because you're stupid. So
well, I mean, listen,
know.
stupid but better player at Call of Duty than you are. We balance things out in the world,
so,
you know.
Yeah, but you're terrible at Mario Kart. Like, you're fucking awful.
Are you the best anymore at any game, Jeremy? Name one game you're the best at.
Jeremy's never been the best.
I'll fuck you up on water.
Oh, please, Jeremy, I've beaten you at Mario Kart. I've gotten first already.
Don't start that.
Mario Kart's a thing of the past. It's a thing of the past.
Listen, you literally had to bring Ripa and pay Ripa to target me on those streams to stop me from ascending.
So here's the Mario Kart hierarchy now. It's me, then it's Ripa, then it's Mike, then it's Jeremy.
Get the fuck! It's the fact that you brought Mike into this just destroyed your credibility.
Look,
okay?
No. He's speaking the truth, Jeremy. And
no,
you know
he's not. No, he's not.
Everybody fucking knows it. We've all seen the writing on the wall. Look at the writing on the wall, Jeremy.
No, he's not.
Right behind Jeremy, but closing in fast is Tux. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Your tier system means nothing on Water Park. Nothing.
Water Park.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Listen. When we get our studio set up, we're playing Double Dash. None of this fucking online bullshit. None of these fucking bullets. None of this bullshit. We're playing Double Dash because that's a real man's Mario Kart.
You can't play Double Dash without actually doing doubles, though. You need a teammate. You need a teammate.
No, you don't.
No, I know you don't need one, but like you should play with one. It's Double Dash.
Yeah, but but having two characters is part of the strategy. Double Dash is a real man's Mario Kart, right?
It can be part of the strategy in a co-op form. Yeah.
Double Dash is GOAT.
No one has ever said.
Double Dash is GOAT.
Well, I mean, he's got to drag that out, but
Anyway, let me get back to super chats. Okay. Let's see. Trucker Rob says, blame me. It's fine. I don't know what for, but okay. Cowman plays. Mark has the Cowman curse. Everything breaks.
That goes back, Cowman. That goes back to Cold War zombies days. Whenever we played with Cowman, if he did something in the game, like my internet would turn off, someone's game would crash. Like every time Cowman did something, it just fucking broke. Always in there.
Trucker Rob says it is pizza. Ryan is hurting me emotionally. The Last Talks in Mail Gaming with Geeks podcast is absolutely amazing. Your Gronks. Jeremy sucks at Mario Kart.
I don't think I've heard Mark call someone a Gronk before.
A Gronk.
Well, I do think Jeremy is kind of a Gronk.
Diddy Kong and Koopa Troopa is my combination. But yes, it has been an absolutely amazing podcast, and I'm about to share this.
Oh man, it was absolutely amazing.
So good.
It's so good.
Your
it's
face.
So
you look
good.
immediately at the camera.
I was just like, really? That's it.
Oh man, it was absolutely amazing.
Like, I brought this guy with me, and here he is. That's his hot take. Yep.
Arcasul has become a new member, an epic gamer. Thank you so much. Dean has become a new member. Thank you so much. Trucker Rob, Hungry Howie's wasn't there. Was there? Ryan wasn't. Trucker Rob, love you guys. Too drunk. Later, I'm out. Josh, I don't know how to say that. Krasuchke, new weekly Saturday. I don't know if we could do this every Saturday. I would like to. I'll talk to the guys. You guys have responded really well, and I do appreciate that so much.
Definitely can't do next Saturday.
Yeah, and so I'll definitely get with the guys, and we'll see what we can work out. So Ruben Christopher Haynes, looking forward to more epic gaming events. Thank you, Ruben. And with that, we come to a close. So again, this has been fantastic. I appreciate you guys. Did not expect this good of a turnout, but it was amazing and definitely going to try to do more stuff like this on this channel. Obviously, we have Mario Kart tomorrow on the main channel and on Twitch. Krista will be running the Twitch stream. She's running the Twitch channel, so shout out to her. Mario Kart should be big time tomorrow. We had like 1,750 people watching last week on the main channel. Krista had like 150 over there. So we almost broke 2,000 people watching Mario Kart, which was stupid. We do Splatoon every Wednesday for the geeksandgamers.com premium members. Me and Lethal will try to work something out for maybe a Vanguard private lobby. We can open that up and do some private lobbies or something like that. I'll let you guys know. Other than that, what do you guys got going on? Johnny64.
Let's see. For Gaming with Geeks, I am going to put out a Kirby review soon. I should be finishing that game soon. I haven't told her yet, but I'm going to see if Krista wants to do like a dual recap with me on it, because I know she loves it. And yeah, people care about her opinion more than mine anyway. So that would be good.
Well, her and Jeremy turned me down on a Metroid discussion when Dread came out, so
I will not turn you down on a Metroid discussion. So,
well, I mean, it was like first weekend after it came out. I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to like do a thing where we talk about it and do impressions?" But no, it didn't come together.
And then on my personal channel,
Crush Key, got you. Crush Key, got you. My bad. All right, go ahead.
Actually, good Halo on Johnny64. I'm working on my next game, my next video in the Go Game series, Halo 3. So
yes.
It'll be done.
Lethal's excited.
It'll be done in the next couple days.
The best fucking Halo game. Fuck your revisionist history. There was no crazy amount of hate for Halo 3. Halo 3 was beloved from the fucking get-go. It finished the fight. Fuck your revisionist history. Let's go, Johnny.
Yeah, I might take that clip and put that at the end of my video.
You need to do that. You need to do that.
Yeah.
You need to do that. That was
That's
good.
it. Thanks,
that
guys.
was good.
I got
Mark the Cyborg.
Hello, I'm Mark the Cyborg. I make videos sometimes, I guess, on a channel called Mark the Cyborg, where I also stream Elden Ring on PlayStation with my puppies, because for some reason, every time I try to stream the PC version at 4K, I got to kind of decide between having a good frame rate and streaming, and I don't make those calls. But it gave me an excuse to make a new character on PlayStation, so I've been streaming it over there on the couch, and it's been quite fun. Next Saturday, also, I'm going to be doing a discussion about the Brandon Sanderson book, Words of Radiance, which is the second book of the Stormlight Archive, with a friend of mine, KJ, and our buddy Wade, and special guest, YouTuber Aiden Paladin is coming on to talk about Brandon Sanderson's super amazing fantasy series that I very, very strongly recommend. So if you haven't read any Brandon Sanderson, Way of Kings is the one to start with, and it is 10 out of 10 book. It's really, really good.
Yeah, Mistborn's also awesome.
Haven't read Mistborn yet, though. But...
Oh, if you like
Epic Mike, who's being challenged 1v1 in Elden Ring, you dog. It's you over there talking smack.
Yes, please, I'm more scared of Mazza. But
just hit him with Gary. Yeah, Gary the
we
Squid.
just I just my last stream, I broke 400 followers on Twitch. Thank you guys for the support. We're still rocking Elden Ring because it's so fucking hot right now. I can't put it down. But I got some cool. I streamed with Lethal and Disper the other day. Probably do a little bit more of that because these guys are awesome and they carry me to wins all the time. So that's what I got going on. _epic_Mike on Twitch, and then also tomorrow I will be talking with a certain Halo expert on this panel because tonight I am watching the first episode of Halo, and then Lethal is going to hear my hot take on it first thing in the morning tomorrow. So we'll be going live on that. So,
all right, good stuff. Good
Prepare.
stuff. Happy.
It's rough.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to lose my fucking shit. So
I like that he's heard all about it and then he's still gonna go and watch it. It's like he's asking for it now.
His first impression of the show is me yelling at him on a voice message.
Yep. I was like, I gotta watch it though because I can't. That way, all the detractors say you didn't even watch it. You don't know. But
well, Mike, I'm happy you're doing good on Twitch, buddy. So you guys make sure you go follow him. Mike is awesome. So
I just got another follower just now. Like
nice. Dispa fucking Roo. What's up, this fucking the English dragon himself?
Dragon
I'm
of
a place
Cheshire.
that changed- Oh, now we're Cheshire. It's not Shire. I've told you, we're not hobbits. We don't live in shires over here.
Well,
Bro, you're getting cooler nicknames than
okay.
any
No,
of the elves.
all right. I'll start over. I'll start over.
English dragon, just rude.
I'll start over. I'll start over.
In the middle
I'll
of
start
the
over.
game.
Kill him in Splatoon.
I'll start over. It's the biggest Harry Potter fan I know, Disparu.
Yep, obviously. Expelliarmus or something. I don't know.
He's discount
It just
Harry
ends in
Potter.
us. That's definitely Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, you can find me over YouTube, Disparu, Twitch, Disparu. Obviously known at this point for Lord of the Rings stuff, but I also did a Halo review last. If you just want to, it's basically me just taking the piss out the entire episode. So if you're interested in that, go find it over there. And yeah, I'm gonna be streaming. I'd still not decided where to stream games, whether to do it on YouTube or Twitch. It might end up doing both. I don't know. But yeah, if you're interested in either of that, go over to.
What games are you going to stream?
I want to do more Warzone stuff. I'm kind of interested in the solo rebirth as well. That's interesting. I hope that's in permanent mode though. That's what's holding me back from that. And yeah, I've still got Elden Ring to finish. About 40 hours in, so I think that leaves a lot left. They say you can complete it in 30. I couldn't. I don't know what everyone else is doing.
My first playthrough was pretty thorough, and I was at about 150 hours.
Fucking hell.
But I'm flying through the new game plus. Like, holy shit, this second run of this game, if you've leveled up your character, it's shocking how fast these bosses are going down. Like, it's really kind of amazing.
Mike, what's your YouTube channel? Do you do anything on YouTube? I know you
I do
on
not,
stuff on
but
Twitch,
actually, like probably within the next week or two here, I'll have a game channel, which will inevitably lead to me starting my own fucking YouTube channel because it needs to be a thing. So
it does need to be a
look
thing.
for that.
Fucking oath.
Well,
to
also
be a
Josiah's coming back and he's gonna make me do it. So
If you just bring Disparu on to give you Harry Potter lore, it can help. You know.
yeah, me and Disparu are just gonna
Yeah,
we're just gonna first thing is gonna be a stream between me and Disparu. Talk about
It's
Harry
this-
Potter.
Yeah, like sub-Barry-Armus or whatever. just put Harry-Armus, the every. I can't even say Harry Potter words in a sentence.
See, Mike will actually know the lore, and then they'll hear Disparu's accent, and they're like, "Man, this is next level Harry Potter."
Yeah.
There you go.
What Trucker Rob's back. I guess you're at your super chat limit. I had something funny, but whatever. I mean, you can just say it. You've sent enough super chats, so you know I won't.
Forgets there's a normal.
Can we pay Mike not to make a YouTube channel?
Yes, you can, but that price is too high for you.
Oh man! All right, Lethal Lightning.
I don't get a cool name.
You Gronk.
Yeah, thank you. Now I understand what you're saying.
Please.
Yeah, so I have 2 channels on YouTube still, one that haven't been taken down. One's called Prince Lethal, which is mostly filled with Halo content, Halo show content at the moment. In about 10-ish hours, I'll be live there with Epic Mike and Lady Gravemaster, and I'm going to politely and calmly explain why this Halo show is just so gosh darn good. That should be fun. I have a gaming channel which is called Hyper Lethal as well, which is a Halo reference as well. And I mostly just take clips and stuff from streams that I do over on Twitch. And I'm over on Twitch pretty regularly doing Final Fantasy, the new Final Fantasy, all types of different games. But my big goal for the year is to get that channel to 1,000 subs on YouTube. But I've had fun being on here. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man. Heck
You
yeah.
got
Trucker Rob says, was going to say I won't send another 100, Jeremy, but less politely. So let me get this straight first of all. So has YouTube limited you now? They won't let you send more super chats now? That's crazy. But yeah, motherfucker, send me some fucking $100 super chats. I know your bitch ass won't do it.
Also, subscribe to Mark the Cyborg.
There's young 3PO.
I've never done a live stream. I've never got one super chat in my life. I'm like, just give me a view. I'll be happy. I'll take a view. Check out my Halo video, please.
Well, this has been a great stream, and I appreciate all of you for being here. Trucker Up says, seems to be 500. I told Mark happy birthday.
Thank you.
All you get. No problem, Trucker Rob. Thank you. And thank you to everybody Appreciate you. So again, tomorrow Mario Kart is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, the Sports Wars live stream will be happening. All of our 9,000 channels that we have going on. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and we will talk to you. Oh yeah, Park Hoppin'. I'm sorry, Park Hoppin'. Young 3PO. Are you sure you're not drunk 3PO? Yelling me like it's to a point where we have too many fucking channels that I can't remember to shout all of them out anymore. Like we've got tabletop.
That account did. That
got
account
four
did
choices.
say I don't understand what Mark the Cyborg's saying like 5 times, so it might actually be Jay.
Oh yeah, also Blabbering Collector, I will be doing an interview with her for geeksandgamers.com, so that'll be on the website. She's one of our writers. She wants to do an interview with me about Geeks and Gamers, so that'll be on the website sometime this week, I'm assuming. So shout out to her. But yes, absolutely amazing. Smash the melee button. This stream will stay public, so you guys can smash the melee button. You can do timestamps on it. We'll upload clips and stuff like that from it as well. Nearly 3 hours. So thank you guys. Have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Ta-ta.